Hello, Star Wars fans and collectors. It's me, Jedi Master 98, back again with another Star Wars conversations right here on the Jedi Master 98 YouTube channel. In today's live stream, it is episode 14 of the Star Wars conversations, and in today's episodes, we are going through Star Wars Rebels seasons 1 to 4. And in today's live stream, as usual, my guest Alonn is joining me today to give us the best overview on our opinions on Star Wars Rebels.
Hello there.
So Alonn is here yet again for another Star Wars Conversations live stream. What I'm going to do in this live stream is going to be the exact same as the previous one in the Star Wars Clone Wars live stream, where I read out the episodes, the arcs, what we think about it, we have a discussion, and basically give you our overall opinion on what Star Wars Rebels was like. Obviously, there's a mixture of opinion in this live stream. I like Star Wars Rebels, where Alon's on the fence in a way.
Really, you liked it?
I did enjoy Rebels. Some of the episodes was good, some arcs were good, but your opinion, we'll get to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Some episodes were okay, but the overall, like in globally speaking, it's shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, you can understand it could have been avoidable due to the Rebels not being made, and obviously having episode 4 come out, and then obviously Rogue One, as we know, coming out as well. But hey ho. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you an overview on what Star Wars Rebels was, or is. As some people go, it was.
I would have hated it a lot less if they'd finished the Clone Wars first.
Yeah, I understand. Obviously, if you haven't seen our previous live stream on the Star Wars and Clone Wars live stream that we've done, then go ahead and watch it. It's nearly 4 hours long, but it was worth it. And then when Star Wars the Clone Wars, the new episodes come out in this year, we'll be doing our live stream on them as well. So enough said about Clone Wars. This is Star Wars Rebels. I'm going to give you a brief overview on what Rebels was about, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the live stream by talking about the episodes, character development, and basically stuff that went.
Hold on, before you start, let me do a little parody intro for you.
Yeah, if you want to do a parody intro, you're more than welcome to.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss Star Wars Rebels. Now, before we get to talk about Star Wars Rebels, we need to ask ourselves, what is Star Wars Rebels? Well, in order to understand what is Star Wars Rebels, we need to go back decades to back to when the first Star Wars came out, Episode 4, A New Hope, in cinemas. It was Star Wars. There was the Rebels. There was the Empire, and it started a big revolution in cinema history, and so they made more movies, and they made prequels, and they made this very great TV show called The Clone Wars. But before we get to Clone Wars, what is Clone Wars? But no, just kidding. But yeah, now we get to Rebels. Why do we have Rebels? Well, in order to answer that question, we need to ask ourselves, what is Rebels? No, I'm just I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, go ahead.
That's all right. No, that's all right. If you want to give your own parody, then yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Rebels, as you know, comes from the verb to rebel, which means break the rules and do stupid shit and say no to the government and shit like that. Well, that's exactly the same thing, only in space, with aliens and robots and stormtroopers, and it's all toned down for kids because Disney, and I don't know, man. It's gonna shit. I don't. Just do your thing, Jack.
Okay, enough said from Alonn. I mean, he's obviously yeah. Star Wars Rebels is an American 3D CGI animated TV series produced by Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm Animation. Beginning 14 years ago after Revenge of the Sith and 5 years before A New Hope, Rebels takes place during an era in which the Galactic Empire is securing its grip on the galaxy. Imperial forces are hunting down the last of the Jedi Knights, while fleeing rebellion against the Empire is taking form. The series was previewed throughout August 2014 with a set of short introducing the main characters before the television film pilot episode premiered on Disney Channel on October 3rd, 2014. The regular series premiered on Disney XD on October 13th, 2014. Second season started on June 20th, 2015, and the third season premiered on September 24th, 2016. As of November 6, 2017, 75 episodes of Star Wars Rebels have aired. The two-part season 3 finale aired on March 25th, 2017. On March 31st, it was announced that the show would return for a full season. On April 15th, executive producer Dave Filoni announced that the full season would also be the final season. On September 2nd, 2017, a second trailer for season 4 was released during a panel at Fan Expo in Canada, and a date for the season's premiere was announced as October 16th, 2017. Season 4 premiered on October 16th, 2017 with the two-part episode Heroes of Mandalore and continued to air until November 13th, 2017. Excuse me. The series picked up on February 19th, 2018 after winter break and preparations for the release of the film, Alan's favourite film, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Disney XD then proceeded to release 2 episodes a week before airing the final 2 episodes on March 5th, 2018. So season 1...
You know me so well.
Yeah, I know you so well, I'm not The Last Jedi. Season 1 was from 2014 to 2015. Season 2 was 2015 to 2016. Season 3 was 2016 to 2017. And Season 4 was 2017 to 2018. As I mentioned, there was 4 short episodes introducing the characters, and they were introduced from August 11th to September 1st of 2014. Season 1 had 15 episodes. Season 2 and Season 3 had 22 episodes, where the final season on Season 4 had 16 episodes. I'm not going to read the shorts, 4 episodes, short episodes, because we don't really need to know about it. We just want to focus on the main task of talking about our TV show.
Exactly.
So yeah, anything to add before we dive in, Alan?
What was your reaction when this show was announced? Back in 2000 and what was it, 2012 it was announced?
I think it was announced in about 2012. My initial reaction of Star Wars Rebels by seeing obviously some of the artwork that was released beforehand. At first, I was thinking, why did the Clone Wars stop? But looking at images of Star Wars Rebels, it kind of obviously gave us a boost of gave us a boost on stories that we haven't really heard of from episode 4 to episode 6. Personally, seeing it beforehand, I didn't think it would be as good as Clone Wars, with obviously the responsibility that Clone Wars had on many people, including us too as fans. It was promising to look forward to Star Wars Rebels, but it was better than I expected at the time. I thought Star Wars Rebels coming into it was something to look forward to and basically provide and gain a new generation of Star Wars fans into this universe by watching another good, so-called good Lucasfilm animation show. Because obviously it had a hell of a lot of responsibility from Star Wars to Clone Wars. But looking back at it now, I think Star Wars Rebels delivered. It's an enjoyable series for me as a fan, because I can go back and binge watch them all again, like with the Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars TV show. But initially, I wasn't really optimistic at the time of Rebels, but going through the seasons and obviously watching the characters grow and everything, I had a change of heart, and Rebels ended on a way that some people expected to end, or some people didn't. I.e., I thought all the characters would be killed off. Well, in this case, they weren't. So,
Unfortunately.
where's the point of characters being killed off? Because we don't hear about them from episode 4 to 6. We hear a little bit of the stories from Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels season 3 and 4.
Yeah, but that's new canon.
But that's new canon of Disney, because obviously when canon was
Very inconsistent
bought by Disney, they literally scrapped it. So I don't know. Rebels was obviously on the fence with many fans, but I personally would have probably killed off some of the characters.
Me too.
As you said, there's no really a major backstory, but you just got to get on with it, really. I mean, what was your initial reaction before we talk about the episodes in detail?
I don't remember my initial reaction. I think I was just so bummed about the Clone Wars being canceled that I didn't really have a genuine reaction for the announcement of Rebels. I was like, I think I was just like, okay.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the nitty gritty of the review. We're going to start with episode 1.
I mean, I give the show a shot. You know, I watched it. Some episodes were good, others not so very much. You know, but it's that let's talk about it in more depth now.
Yeah, all right, let's talk about it in depth. So we've got season 1, episodes 1 to 2, Spark of the Rebellion. Ezra Bridger is an orphan on the farm, an outer rim world. He interferes with the theft of a blaster rifles from the Empire by Gross crew members Kanan Jarrus, Sabine Wren, and Garazeb Zeb Oregis. Ezra ends up stuck with the crew while making their getaway, and also meets Captain Harrison Dula and C1 Astromech droid Chopper. Ezra finds a lightsaber and a holocron in Kanan's room and steals the holocron. The rifles are sold to buy food and information from black market dealer and crime lord Zargo. The food is given to the displaced people of the Foal, while the information leads to them to the location of several Wookiees captured by the Empire. However, this is a trap, and Ezra is captured by Agent Callus. Ezra somehow opens the holocron and sees a message from Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ezra is saved by the Ghost crew after learning where the Wookiees have been sent. During the rescue of the Wookiees, Kanan draws his lightsaber, revealing himself as a Jedi, and together with the Wookiees, he defeats Agent Callus and escapes. Having proven himself by opening the holocron, Kanan offers to make Ezra his apprentice. Now, first thoughts on these
stupidest mistake ever.
Yeah, I know you love Ezra. You love Ezra, Alan. Come on. You tell me often enough you love him. Thoughts on the episode, mate?
Oh my god! I mean, the last time I watched it was so long ago. I can't even remember what I think of it.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
It's not amazing,
but
no.
it can get by. That's the thing. It can get by. So it kind of gives you the introduction of characters, but obviously, as the episodes draw on and the seasons draw on, we get to see the characters in more detail.
Yeah.
But please go on. You were talking, so.
No, it's okay. It just it wasn't too bad, but it's I don't know. I just don't know. You get so much of an Aladdin vibe from Ezra, right?
Yeah.
Not only his physique, but like his attitude and well, kind of his voice and.
He's still a teenager, was he? He's 15,
and
16 years old in this, or even younger, I think he is.
Yeah, and he's being chased around in this poor town with poor people by stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it kind of reminds you of Aladdin, and I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, that's like the vibe that it gave me back then, and many other people as well. I think like I really like um, out of all the foster of characters that show introduced. Um, I I liked the character design for Zeb
Hmm.
and uh, Sabine as a very interesting backstory. Kanan too.
Yeah, Kanan's very cool, especially the
Um,
comics that was released of him as well.
yeah, and Hera as a pilot, and that's cool and all.
We'll see a iconic, well, I won't say iconic, but a known hero from the Star Wars, the Clone Wars TV show. And obviously,
I mean, she wasn't very
um,
known back then because she was
but
young.
yeah, but obviously,
We didn't see her.
obviously, Syndulla, her father,
Yeah,
fought in the Clone Wars, but obviously that's revealed later on in the series as well.
yeah.
Charm Syndulla. So yeah,
Who else? Chopper is kind of annoying.
yeah, Chopper's like that
Kind of,
annoying. Chopper's
kind
like
of
that
an
annoying kid brother. You know, you
yeah. I
just
mean,
can't get
he's
away from
is
it.
is an R2D2 knockoff. I don't. Uh, I could have done without him.
Yeah.
But I get it that every crew needs to have its astromech, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, this one was just I mean too much. I mean, rightfully so because this show was meant for kids, but still, I mean, you get it that he was supposed to be like the comic relief, and everyone would make fun of him, like and they make jokes and all, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Mm.
But from I believe I was like I believe I was like 15 or 14 or 15 when it came out, and I was just I could care less. I couldn't care less for the humor in that show. I mean, I'll tell you what, the humor in that show is the last thing that got me hooked. Like, I mean, I really didn't the just I could have done without the humor in that show,
Mm.
even though it would have changed the kind of the atmosphere. Uh, I don't think that humor is very necessary in the situation these characters are in. I think it's pretty forced because they're either rebels, they're going on dangerous suicide missions. They can get themselves killed at any time. They're being chased by Imperial soldiers that are supposed to be intimidating,
But they're not.
but they're not. They're being made fun of.
I honestly think the stormtroopers in Rebels are even more dumber. Like they're so stupid. They're
Yeah,
so
no, the
static, and you
stormtroopers in
just
Rebels. The
yeah,
stormtroopers in
crap.
Rebels. I mean, I am so pissed of what they've done with them. I mean, they're not even intimidating. They're a joke.
They're a joke and they're a target practice to
They
Jedi and Rebels.
Yeah, exactly. And to go to Jeremiah from Gotham in a future episode, they're like a joke without a punchline.
Hmm.
Basically, they're not funny. They're making fun of the stormtroopers, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, they missed their shot. They're very easily beaten and outrun and outmatched, and I hate it.
Hmm. Okay.
They don't prove to be any threat whatsoever, unfortunately.
Yep.
And it doesn't challenge the characters. The only characters that the only thing that challenged the characters really is like the boss battles when there's the Inquisitors or they're only challenged when it's convenient.
Hmm.
I feel like because there's this Inquisitor that chases Jedi and he's got his own powers and lightsabers. Oh no, there's this huge fleet and they're closing in on us and we need to escape. What are we going to do? Oh shit, there's Darth Vader. It's only challenging when it's convenient to the plot, and it sucks because soldiers should not be that easily beaten, and they shouldn't be. They should be more of a threat. I don't say that they need to be more of a threat than the actual boss battles, the actual antagonists. But I mean, dude, there's a difference between being easy to beat and actually being like be made fun of, like as a joke. They're here just to make fun of. Oh, they can't aim. Oh, they're easy. They're easy practice. I can chase them. I can eat 5 of them for breakfast. Like, dude. But yeah, I think I've been blabbing too much about stormtroopers. Now you can go ahead and continue.
Yeah, that's all right. One thing I will say about this first 2 episodes, obviously, Kanan Jarrus, we didn't really know he was a Jedi until he announced it. Obviously, there's a cool scene in that episode where he obviously is just dodging all the blaster bullets, and he obviously reveals himself as a Jedi, and Kallus is out, focus your fire on the Jedi.
No,
So
but I mean, I think we already know he was a Jedi in the beginning when there was we saw that there was a little connection between him and Ezra, like there was a force link connection.
yeah.
And we figure, and he's a good guy, so
I'm just saying it revealed himself to the Empire, because I'm just saying it from their point of view. They didn't really know what he was until he announced it. But yeah. The first 2 episodes get by, and
you know what would have been cooler?
What's that?
What would have been cooler if Kanan was Inquisitor.
Kanan was an Inquisitor.
Yeah, that would have been cool if he was an Inquisitor in the Imperial Army, and he defected and started a rebellion on the side or something like that.
Possibly, but we haven't got that story, so we can't. Really
Unfortunately, no.
So yeah, episode 1 and 2 get by, and we'll move on to episode 3. Episode 3 is Droids in Distress. The Ghost Crew steals a shipment of disruptor weapons from Minister 2 to sell to Vizago, accidentally bringing the Imperially service droids C-3PO and R2-D2. I didn't think they didn't even need to be in Star Wars Rebels, if I'm perfectly honest, with them in the process. Zeb objects to the mission since the same weapons were used nearly to wipe out his species, the Lasutts. Agent Kallus intercepts C-3PO's distress call and follows through to the file. Zeb sees that Agent Kallus uses a bow rifle, a weapon only used by the last on the guards, which Kallus had taken from the guardsman he killed himself. In the ensuring duel between Zeb and Kallus, Ezra saves Zeb by using the Force for the first time to push Kallus away, allowing the crew to escape after getting weapons to self-destruct as a diversion. Kanan returns the 2 droids to the rightful owners, Bail Organa, who surveys R2-D2's recordings of the Rebels' Ghost Crew's action. Oh, for some reason Siri just turned on there. Sorry, bear with me 1 sec, just turn that off. So yeah, episode 3, Droids in Distress. In my personal opinion, I didn't even think that C-3PO or R2-D2 should be in Star Wars Rebels. They should have just left them out of it and everything. Droids in Distress, it's an okay episode, but with that episode being obviously produced and written, we kind of saw the early rivalry between Zeb and Agent Kallus, which is very, very cool, obviously, to see what happened to his people, obviously the weapons, obviously the rivalry. The episodes gets by, but I don't really have much to say about it. It's kind of like a filler episode, really. Anything to say on that, Adam? Droids in Distress?
To be honest, I do not remember a lot of those episodes.
Okay.
But I can't talk about the characters though.
Yeah.
And you just talked about Callus, and
I actually really enjoy Callus as a character,
yeah,
even when he did defect to the rebellion.
yeah. I enjoyed Callus as a character as well. I mean, the character concept, I really like it. It's just that he didn't when he was when he was an antagonist, when he was with the Empire, he still didn't feel like a threat,
No.
and that's unfortunate because there was potential there.
Mm.
But I like the character concept. I like that there's a rivalry between him and Zeb, um, and yeah, yeah. There's definitely potential in that character. It's just that it wasn't his character wasn't fulfilled up to his full potential, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't really have a lot to say. The next episode we're going to talk about, episode 4, Fight or Flight. Chopper ends up causing a fight between Ezra and Zeb, so Hera sends them out on a supply run together to keep them from bickering with each other, specifying that they do not return without a rare Melu fruit, known as the Melu run. The two find the market's sole supply of Melu runs has been purchased by the Empire. Ezra attempts to steal the fruit, leads to an entanglement against stormtroopers, forcing Zeb to hijack a TIE fighter for the two to escape in. En route to the Ghost crew, the two find Farmer Murad Suma, a friend of Ezra's parents, and his family being arrested over the property dispute with the Empire. Using the TIE fighter to their advantage, Ezra and Zeb are able to rescue Suma and retrieve the fruit. On the return to the Ghost crew after supposedly crashing the fighter, Hera is pleased to see Ezra and Zeb are more friendly towards each other. Same again, this is a filler episode. I have no really great feelings on it. You can kind of see that Ezra and Zeb in the early stage have a brother relationship. They
I
obviously
mean,
knock themselves up, but
it's character development
it's not, yeah,
for Ezra.
yeah, it's character development for Ezra going forward in the future seasons, but nothing
Yeah,
else to really say about that episode, just filler. And
it just wasn't
they love
that very
they love,
interesting of a story. That's
no,
it.
no, they love fruit. They're healthy. Moving on. Episode 5, Rise of the Old Masters. Ezra has started his Jedi training but struggles with the basics, wherein Kanan also struggles in his new role as the mentor. The rebels discover an underground transmission reporting that Jedi Master Luminara Unduli has survived Order 66 and is being held in a high-security Imperial prison unstable in crime. Frustrated with his own inability to teach Ezra, Kanan leads his crew to Luminara, hoping she would be more of a capable teacher for Ezra. Upon reaching her cell, Kanan and Ezra discover that Luminara Unduli is long dead, and that her remains are being used in bait by an Inquisitor to lure the Jedi into a trap. Two work together to escape the Inquisitor before Hera rescues them aboard the Phantom. After Ezra reveals his insecurities over Kanan, trying to give him to another mentor, Kanan resolves to train Ezra himself.
So you see
And
that
what
episode.
was that little grin about?
Yeah.
Go on. That episode was about.
So that episode, take out all the one-liners from that episode, and you have a good episode. One of the problems with Star Wars Rebels is that that half of it is one-liners, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, some of them can get by, some of them can't.
Yeah, and yeah, I could do without them, really. I get what they're there, but still, that and that about was when Luminara and Dooley survived.
When I first heard it, I think, nah, they're talking bullshit, mate. She's fucking dead. She died.
I mean, we didn't
66.
see her die. We
No.
didn't see her die in Revenge.
We only saw a shot of her in Revenge of the Sith, when we saw her regiment, the 41st, just on the shores of Kashyyyk, waiting for the droids to attack, and then we saw Yoda sitting in his cool ass chair,
Yeah, but we didn't actually see her get executed.
Exactly, yeah.
But you would assume that she was executed because it was ordered.
Yeah, it was ordered. I mean, you had Commander agree up with Yoda. You even had, I believe it was like Commander Fane, who was like responsible.
Then again, like her, like she could have she could have managed to escape because
well, that's if you go back and read the Quinlan Voss comic.
Yeah.
Quinlan Voss actually escapes Kashyyyk, but Commander Fane is his old commander, and he obviously tries to kill him, but fails.
Quinlan Voss was in Kashyyyk.
Apparently so. Reading to a comic, apparently he was in Kashyyyk at the time. I could be wrong in saying this. It's been a long time since I've read the comic, but if anyone does know what I'm talking about, please leave a comment below. If not, I'll read the comic again.
Yeah,
but carry on, mate. Carry on.
In theory, the way I could see Luminara and Dooley escape from Order 66 is because like Kashyyyk is a very green planet. A lot of plants, a lot of forests, and
and Wookiees.
And Wookiees. So, first of all, she was allied with the Wookiees at the time. So they might have helped her escape if they weren't killed. Those that she was surrounded by, and then there's also blending in with the forest. Like she's got the colors. Like she's got brown robes and green skin. So she's a Jedi. Maybe at the time of the given order, she wasn't surrounded by troopers. And she might have sensed that something went wrong, and she just escaped at the right time.
Okay, all right.
But eventually got cut up onto by the Empire, because they got her body now.
Okay, now mate, we'll move on to episode 6. Episode 6 is Breaking Ranks. Ezra goes undercover as an Imperial Academy cadet to help foil a shipment of kyber crystals. Thanks to his training, Ezra quickly proves the most of the capable student in his class. During the operation, he befriends a fellow cadets Zare, Linus, and Jel and Kel, the former of whom has similarly infiltrated the academy in search of his missing sister, Dara. After completing the mission, Ezra discovers that the Inquisitor, having taken notice of his and Jel's abilities, intends to take them as prisoner. With Zare and the other rebels' help, the three are able to fight their way out of the facility during the Imperial Walker training exercise. Jel goes into hiding while Zare remains at the academy to continue his search for his sister, Dara. That episode as well is obviously filler again. Obviously, Ezra's abilities are growing, and I've got really nothing else to say about it, really. Just obviously the Inquisitors on his tail, and yeah. Adam, anything to add on that?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll move on. Episode 7, Out of Darkness. Chopper's antics cause Ezra and Zev to forget to carry out an important repair on the Phantom. Hera and Sabine set out to an abandoned Republic asteroid base to retrieve supplies provided by Fulcrum, an anonymous informant whom Hera has been in contact with. Sabine voices her displeasure towards Hera's secrecy about their mission, feeling as though neither she nor Kanan trust her. Due to the fuel tank linking on the Phantom, the two are left stranded on the base, which is infested by deadly Phinops. The two work together to survive the creatures long enough for the rest of the crew to rescue them aboard the Ghost, allowing Sabine to overcome their trust issues, while Hera tells her to have faith in the growing rebellion. So even with that episode, we're kind of seeing the relationship, a mother and daughter relationship between Hera and Sabine. Obviously, we know that Sabine's backstory is really, really good as well. And obviously, her skills as a Mandalorian warrior will eventually get stronger as we go through, obviously, seasons 2, 3, and 4. The good thing I liked about the episode is obviously I've mentioned that Clone Wars. They went back to their roots and we saw an abandoned Clone Wars base during the time of the war, and basically they got the job done, and the rebels lived to fight another day. Really, so that's all I really need to say. Anything to add on that, Alan?
You move along.
Move along. It's going to probably be a lot because there's some episodes that really just don't have an interest instead of Clone Wars episodes. One episode I did enjoy is the next episode, episode 8, Empire Day. Kanan tries to teach Ezra how to use the Force to make a connection to other living creatures. The rebels destroy the Empire's new prototype TIE fighter during a parade celebrating the 15th anniversary of Empire's creation. Ezra, who was born on the same day, is upset towards obviously his missing parents and opts out of the mission. He soon discovers that his parents' Rhodian friend Sibo was wanted by the Empire, and he joins his friends to look for him. Sibo is found hiding in the basement of Ezra's old house, where Ezra reveals his parents were arrested for making anti-Empire radio broadcasts, after which Sibo has gone to work for the Empire. The rebels claim that Sibo has allowed himself to be implanted with a cybernetics so he could steal information that is valuable to the Empire. Though the sheer amount of information he has uploaded has affected his mind, the rebels smuggle him off the floor with the ghost during ensuing chase led by the Inquisitor. Sibo regains his senses and reveals that he knows what happened to Ezra's parents. Note, this episode takes immediately before gathering forces. Anything to add on that episode? Alan, Empire Day. Ezra's obviously 15 years old. We know that he was born straight after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Anything to add there?
Watch Teen Titans.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else to add on that?
No.
No, not really. No. Episode 9, Gathering Forces. Learning that Sibo failed to save his parents from the abducted by the Empire, Ezra lashes out on Sibo for betraying his parents' trust. Whilst the chase is going on, the Imperials manage to attach a homing beacon on the hull of the Phantom, which came up to detach from the Ghost in hyperspace, with himself and Ezra aboard to the mislead of the Imperials. The two arrive at Fort Alaxis, where Kanan teaches Ezra to forgive Sibo by admitting his fear of not knowing what happened to his parents. The two manage to tame the Firenox by connecting to them through the Force and set them against the arriving Imperial forces that are concerned by an Inquisitor who is after them. The Inquisitor injures Kanan. Overcome with anger, Ezra uses the dark side of the Force to summon a giant Firenox against the Inquisitor, allowing the two escape. Back on the Ghost, Sabine gives Ezra a picture of his parents she found in his house. Afterwards, the Ghost crew takes Sibo to Fulcrum, while Hera offers to relay to Ezra that Sibo knows of his parents' fate. Note this episode takes immediately after Empire Day. With that being said, obviously Ezra's powers are growing. We can see him using the dark side of the Force, which obviously is a rare sight to see in young Jedi. I think with this episode, Gathering Forces, for me personally, it kind of gave you an insight on what Ezra was like a moaning little brat that Alan absolutely loves. No, Alan can't stand him. But yeah, it kind of gives you the starting point on what Ezra was going to be like as a character, like a moaning brat with issues, questioning stuff. But yeah, we saw the skills of the Inquisitor, and yeah, they managed to escape and obviously live to fight again another day, like they did last time they were in that clone base. Anything to add on that one, Alan?
So let me correct you. It's not. It's rare to see Jedi in general use the dark side, but it's not. It's very common with young Jedi, because like Jedi in Ezra's age, especially when they get trained that late of age, because they're more easily seduced by the dark side, and like they're less containable and controllable and whatever. But
they're easy manipulators because they're young.
exactly, yeah. And also, ta-na-na-na-na-na, ta-na-na-na-na-na, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Okay, go on.
Okay, I don't know what that was about, but okay. Episode 10, Path of the Jedi. Concerned with Ezra's previous display of the dark side against the Inquisitor, Kanan brings him to a hidden Jedi temple on the Fold to be tested for his obviously Jedi training. While Kanan stays behind, Ezra makes his way through the temple alone, is faced with series of visions showing the Inquisitor killing Kanan and the rest of the Ghost crew. After seeing through the false and its illusions, Ezra is guided by the disembodied voice of Jedi Master Yoda, who helps him admit his fear of being alone again. Kanan also speaks with Yoda about his own ability to teach Ezra. Yoda leads Ezra to a kyber crystal, which he uses to build his own lightsaber.
Yoda was pretty ugly in that episode.
Yeah, Yoda was a very funny one. I don't know why they just didn't put the Yoda from the Clone Wars and just stick him in there. Miserable old bastard. No, we love you, Yoda. Yeah, I didn't really like the look of Yoda, if I'm honest. Like an old man with his missing teeth. Like, yeah, all right. Yeah. Obviously, Yoda's popping up everywhere like he usually does to give guidance. It's good to see what... Obviously, we saw it from the Clone Wars, obviously, the young Jedi getting their kyber crystals, but actually focusing on the Force and going in on the Jedi Temple, which I thought was all right. Obviously, he builds his lightsaber. I'm not going to lie, it's one of the ugliest lightsabers I've ever seen Ezra build. It's kind of good in a way that it's a gun, a pistol, and
it's
a lightsaber.
It's really creative, I'll give you that.
But it's not something I would have. It looks like a cheap knockoff Lego fucking figure you would have in your collection. And I'm not saying you would collect them, just saying, like a knockoff lightsaber, like some guy sending a lightsaber in a bar, go up to me, do you want to buy a lightsaber?
You know what they did with the Lego version of that lightsaber?
What did they do?
They took a binocular piece and just put a lightsaber blade on it, and that's what it is basically.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I kind of dig that lightsaber. I mean, it matches Ezra's kind of personality, I think. And it's kind of cool seeing a blaster and the lightsaber combined, and it's proven to be pretty cool in the season finale of season 1. But other than that, like, that's all I have to really say about that. It wasn't the worst thing in the show. I'll give you that.
Okay, that's all right.
The worst lightsaber in the show is the Inquisitor lightsaber, because I mean it was cool in the beginning, but then you see them in season 2 using them with helicopters.
Yeah. Oh my god, the season 2 finale.
Like fucking children.
It's like when you get with a toy lightsaber, you just see it swinging around your head. Yeah, you got a lightsaber. No.
I can fly.
Yeah, no, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, I mean, the lightsabers are, yeah.
It's those Inquisitors with the lightsabers. It's kind of like, I'm flying out of here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a shit Mary Poppins thing. Like Mary Poppins, her umbrella's fucked. I know what I'll do. I'll get a kid's lightsaber. Hello, children. Fuck you, Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
So yeah, next up is episode 11, and that is Idiot's Array.
Who now?
Idiot's Array.
Zeb, oh yeah, there's an episode called that. Okay.
Yeah, Zeb bets and loses Chopper to smuggler Lando Calrissian in a game of sabacc, forcing the Ghost Crew to assist Lando in a dangerous smuggling run to get their droid back. However, during the smuggling run, Lando trades Hera to Crime Lord as Morgan in exchange for a puffer pig. Now, a puffer pig, that was a very peculiar animal, but I actually quite liked it. Precious minerals for mining purposes, leaving Hera to escape in an escape pod. Humiliated as Morgan and his henchmen intercept the rebels on the fall to take revenge. The crew successfully drive the gangsters away. The rebels part ways with Lando, though not before Chopper steals the fuel to Lando's ship, which the smuggler concedes as payment for their help. Now, Lando Calrissian, did you enjoy any Rebels on it? I think he kind of suited Rebels in a way. But I will say one thing about that episode. I did actually enjoy that puffer pig. Especially when Zeb scared it. He got the shit. He's like, just,
Yeah.
kind of a puffer fish, which was the episode gets by.
Honestly, I don't even remember what that creature looked like.
Go on. Do you want me to share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. But yeah, the episode itself. I mean, yeah, I guess it might have made a good story, a good little episode there. I think it was kind of filler though, because I mean we just see Lando once, unfortunately, but yet then again, I mean he wouldn't have joined the rebellion until the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see. Like in the later seasons, see Hondo and Lando together.
That would have been cool. I'd like to have seen that.
Yeah, but we didn't get that.
Okay, I'm just about to share.
There were a lot of missed opportunities with Rebels. I feel like.
Can you see the screen?
Not yet. Now I see. Okay, I see it now.
See the puffer pig? It's that one.
Yeah, I see it.
That one. It's the one where Zeb scared it. And obviously, it just went out. But obviously, mate, even taking a look at his Morgan, I mean, look at that chin.
Yeah. It kind of resembles the Goblin King from The Hobbit.
Yeah, so obviously you can see from there that obviously when he's scared, it just come up basically like a puffer fish, really. So yeah. So that is it's a puffer pig. And we are back. Moving on, we'll move on to the next episode. And the next episode is episode 12, Vision of Hope. During lightsaber practice, Ezra has a fragmented vision of meeting Gal Travis, an exiled Imperial senator and rebel sympathizer, and assumes that Travis knows about his parents. The rebels receive a transmission from Travis notifying them of a secret valley on the foe. But Ezra receives a tip from Zara Leonis that Kallus is planning to use the senator to lure the rebels into a trap. Following Travis's transmission, the rebels find them and save him in front of Kallus by escaping into the false sewer systems. To Ezra's dismay, Travis reveals himself to be an Imperial spy who has used his anti-Imperial transmissions to identify rebel sympathizers and claims that Ezra's parents are dead and gone. Having suspected his treachery, Hera outsmarts Travis and knocks him out so the rebels can escape. Although disappointed by their betrayal, Ezra and the other rebels remain hopeful of their cause. That episode, obviously, the rebel spy and their mix, they're kind of trying to get the gang together to try and obviously send a message out to the rest of the galaxy to say that we can uphold and go against these guys and everything. But the episode's fine, no issues with that. But same again, it's filler. Anything to add on that, Alan?
Are we in season 2 yet?
We are nearly in season 2.
Let's go then.
Okay, I'll read the other ones and I'll just explain and we'll go on. Episode 13, Call to Action. Grand Moff Tarkin visits the fold to deal with the rebels. In light of discovering that Travis is actually an Imperial spy, the rebels debate broadcasting a message to the nearby star systems about their cause. Ezra supports the idea since his parents have broadcast secret messages from their basement for years. Kanan decides to invade the main Imperial communications tower on the Fold. The rebels think they have the element of surprise, but they do not take into account that the arrival of Tarkin, who has decided where they will strike. The Inquisitor and Callus are sent out to capture Kanan, alive to earn back Tarkin's trust. When the Imperial forces attack the group at the tower, Kanan instructs the team to leave him and thus is captured. The team is able to have Ezra send a message of hope, urging those living under the oppression of the Empire to fight before Tarkin orders the tower to be destroyed, ending their live broadcast. Episode 14, Rebels Revolve. After failing to find where Kanan is being detained, Hera is urged by Falcon to put the crew of the Ghost into hiding. Against Hera's orders to leave Kanan, Ezra devises a plan to rescue him. He strikes a deal with Vizago for the unspecified favour in the future and learns that due to the destruction of the Imperial Communications Tower, the Empire is forced to send all messages via courier droids. Meanwhile, Kanan is brought aboard Tarkin's ship, where he is tortured by the Inquisitor as the Empire hopes to gain more information about the rebels. The crew of the Ghost substitutes a disguised chopper for an Imperial courier droid so he can access the Empire's data on Kanan. Eventually learning that Tarkin plans to transfer Kanan to the prisoner on Mustafar, where according to Hera, Jedi go to die. Episode 15, Season 1 finale, Fire Across the Galaxy. The crew of the Ghost seize an Imperial transport and use a TIE fighter that Zeb and Hera had previously stolen to infiltrate and disable Tarkin's Star Destroyer in the Mustafar system. Ezra frees Kanan using the duct system, while Hera, Sabine, and Zeb attempt to secure an escape route. Ambushed in the engine room, Ezra and Kanan face the Inquisitor in a lightsaber duel, during which Ezra falls and is believed to be dead by Kanan. Abandoning his fear of losing Ezra, Kanan succeeds in destroying the Inquisitor's lightsaber and rupturing the ship's engine until the defeated Inquisitor casts himself to his death. Ezra reveals himself to be alive and to have gotten a scar during the battle with the Inquisitor and escapes with Kanan. Both groups successfully emerge from the doomed destroyer with stolen TIEs. Chopper arrives in the stolen transport alongside a number of other ships, and they all successfully escape into hyperspace. The rebels are greeted by Senator Bail Organa and Falcon, the latter of whom is revealed to be Ahsoka Tano, who tells the group that they are just one cell of many working for a larger rebellion. On the file, Tolkien introduces Agent Callus to Darth Vader, who has been selected by Emperor Palpatine to hunt down the rebels in the Inquisitor's place. Now, that was Season 1 of Star Wars Rebels there. If you didn't know, the voice actor of the Inquisitor was voiced by Jason Isaacs, who actually played Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter films. Is it Lucius Malfoy, Alan? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs obviously played him. Overall, Season 1 was okay. Also, looking back at it, it had many filler episodes that weren't really necessary, but it got by. If I was to rank Star Wars Rebels Season 1 out of 10, I'd give it a 6. A couple of favourite episodes of mine was obviously the season finale of Fire Across the Galaxy. I did enjoy Empire Day and the Path of the Jedi, where obviously they discovered the Jedi Temple. But apart from that, Season 1 got by, and I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Your opinion, Alan, on that?
The season finale was good.
Yeah. Just look cheesed off and it's good.
Yeah.
Out of 10, Season 1? You don't have to give your favourite episodes if you don't want to. You sound like Papa Valessa there.
Yeah. 5.8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, season 1.
5.8 out of 10.
Why 5.8? Just say like 6 or some shit. Fucking decimal shit. Oh, I'll rough it. 6 out of 10 then. We'll both
6 out of 10.
Yeah, fuck you. No, not you. I'll just say that. Fuck you, man. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Fuck it. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, fuck it. 7 out of 10. Before we move on
no, you know what? 6 out of 10 because I still hate Ezra.
Yeah, little bastard. Before we move on to season 2, are there any comments in the chat? I doubt there.
I'm just chatting with Connor on the chat here. Nothing special, really.
Oh, nothing special. I'd say
episode 9 finished filming apparently.
Yeah, I read that yesterday. Episode 9 had finished filming as well.
No, he doesn't have earpods. He has, actual, earphones, like with a wire. They're wired. They're not.
They're wired. So what's happening in the chat?
We old school, man.
Yeah, we old school, man. So what's happening in the chat? I'm just going to get up and have a look at it.
Nothing much. I'm just chatting with the con man, Connor.
Okay, all right. I'll get to that later on. Moving on, Star Wars Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2, The Siege of the Fall. On orders to hunt down the rebels, and especially the Jedi among them, Darth Vader begins...
Can we agree that Lothal is shit planet?
Yeah, the Thal's a shithole. Why did they invent it? It's a crap planet. It's very boring. Obviously, it's very dark. It's shit. Shit planet. Yeah. On orders to hunt down the rebels, and especially the Jedi among them, Darth Vader begins a campaign against Lothal's populace in order to find the group. The Ghost Crew starts working with the wider rebel cells that are divided between joining the larger network and waging open war on the Empire or staying out of a large-scale fight. The situation is even more complicated when the Minister Marek Tua, fearing punishment for failing to neutralize the Lothal rebels, tries to defect to them in order to escape Vader, offering to reveal the truth behind why the Emperor wants the planet.
You know what I just thought about?
What's that?
If the story of Star Wars Rebels took place, like if the base, if Ezra's home planet was Coruscant instead of Lothal, maybe the stakes might have been higher.
Yeah. Well, going back, Rebels took 15 years after Revenge of the Sith, and I believe it was 5 years before A New Hope. Yeah, maybe they should have said, right, we'll give Ezra his home planet is Coruscant. Maybe they should have done that.
Yeah,
I think that's going to make it better. However, Vader uses this to his advantage and orchestrates Tool's murder by a shuttle explosion, framing the rebels for the act and turning the false population against them. The Ghost Crew tries to flee, but what the fuck is that word? Well, I'll just say it's halted. They're halted by Vader, who injures Kanan and Sabine and nearly kills Ezra before they finally escape. To be fair, Vader should have just killed him then and then. He's one of the most powerful motherfucking Sith Lords in the galaxy. If they had it that way, Vader would kill them all. But because it's a kids' show and they changed it, they said, no, we'll let him kill. In reality, he would have fucking slaughtered all of them.
I mean, it was too early to kill them off.
Yeah.
And there would be a story anymore.
Yeah, mate. Just reading that injury, just like he could have killed him. We could have had like season 1 and a bit episodes of Star Wars Rebels.
Oh yeah. By the way, did you talk about Ahsoka?
I talked about Ahsoka in season 1. Yeah. We can talk about her now because she is in this episode as well. Yeah. But once I've read this out, we'll talk about her. After being smuggled off the world by Lando Calrissian to escape the Empire, the demoralized crew meet up with Ahsoka's rebel cell, talking of her, Adam. But Vader pursues them and proceeds to wipe out most of the rebel ships, discovering Ahsoka's presence during a mental encounter via the Force. Ahsoka's mind is temporarily overwhelmed in the process. She later joins the Ghost Crew as they vow to join the wider fight against the Empire. Darth Vader later reports Ahsoka's existence to the Emperor Palpatine, who issues Vader new orders to dispatch another one of those Inquisitors to capture them. I can do the line. Obviously, dispatch another one of the Inquisitors to capture the rebels. But the line is dispatch another Inquisitors to hunt down the rebels. So yeah, voiced by Sam Whitworth, you did know. So yeah, that is season 2, episode 1 and 2. Ahsoka, your thoughts on her, Alan? What was your opinion on her coming back to Rebels? Obviously, we know her backstory in season 5.
I mean, I was pretty hyped when Ahsoka was revealed to be Fulcrum. That is.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty hyped to see her come back.
I guarantee many fans were, because obviously, as we said in the Clone Wars TV show, live stream it done. She's a massive fan favourite with fellow Star Wars fans around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But please go on. Please go on.
And so when they teased Ahsoka and Vader being more involved in season 2. That also brought the hype a bit, it brought it up a bit because we now it gives us something to look forward to, like something we want to see Ahsoka and Anakin reunite, and like see what do they have to say to each other after all that time. Will they fight? Will they hug it out? Will Vader kill Ahsoka? And like that's something, it's so it's so hype,
Just saying.
So I guess that's what got Clone Wars fans hooked onto this show. If nothing else did that.
Yeah, just saying that. Do you think Darth Vader was acceptable for this TV show? Do you think he was necessary to be in this TV show?
I don't know, because obviously Darth Vader is cool to see anywhere, but Darth Vader is a killing machine. When he's around, people need to die.
That's what I said. If he had it his way, if he had it his way, he would have killed all the Ghost Crew.
Yeah,
in that particular episode.
And if they were going to kill Kanan, back in season 2 should have been it. The season 2 premiere should have been it, because I mean it's as good a point as any. That's the best point, actually, because it's the start. It's kind of the start of Ezra's journey. Like it's in the middle of the beginning of Ezra's journey, and it typically the mentor would die at that point.
And then obviously succeed and come forward the apprentice, as we know.
I don't like no one's. It would have been better to see to have Kanan killed by Vader than by a freaking
gas explosion.
Gas explosion. Someone farted and he died.
Governor Price, we blame you.
Someone farted and he died, man.
That's actually good. I like that analogy. Episode 3 of Star Wars Rebels Season 2. The Lost Commanders. Having barely escaped total destruction of the Rebel Cell Phoenix Squadron by Darth Vader, Ahsoka Tano sends the Ghost Crew to locate a former military commander somewhere in the Sealos system, who has the knowledge of useful hideouts in the Outer Rim. The crew discover the commander to be former clone captain, Captain Rex, accompanied by Clone Commander Wolf and Clone Commander Gregor. Kanan is immediately hostile as soon as he's found out that them being clones due to their role in Order 66, although Rex claims They removed their brain chips, or inhibitor chips as it should be known as. Ezra negotiates with Rex for information relating to potential bases. In return, Gregor enlists them for a hunt by using Zed as bait to catch an elusive dropper. Now that was fucking funny that when he said that. With the hunt successful, Rex holds up his end of the deal, but Sabine discovers that Wolf betrayed the Ghost Crew's location to the Empire. A skirmish with an Imperial probe damages the Phantom shuttle. The crew is temporarily stranded, with the clones waiting for Imperial assault. Now, this episode, Alan, as you said with Ahsoka, also Darth Vader, Clone Wars fans coming back into it with the likes of Gregor, Wolf, and Rex. I really did enjoy seeing Captain Rex coming back as well. And obviously the original voice actor coming back as well for the clones, D. Bradley Baker as well. It's kind of good as well in an episode to see Kanan's feelings, because obviously his fellow clone troopers and obviously fellow officers killed his Jedi Master. Anything to add on that episode?
Yeah,
the clones back.
Clones coming back was also a major upgrade for the show. I feel like Rex is a fan favorite, of course.
He's one of my favorites, without a shadow of a doubt. One of my favorites.
Same here, and Wolf was also a great one, and we had that one episode with the freaking what's the last one? Gregor.
From season 5.
Yeah, Greg.
I cut the screw. Yeah. I cut the screws missing out in his head. He's like laugh. I'm like, ah! I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll see. Go on. I'm going to see if I can get Gregor's laugh up on the old YouTube.
Yeah, but we got those three clones back, and it was for Clone Wars fans, it brings in a sense of nostalgia and sense of regret that the Clone Wars ended. It's another reminder of the Clone Wars, of the good days, and why it didn't have to end. But yeah, Rex coming back, that was awesome. Clones coming back, that was awesome. Clones being involved in that era, that was awesome. I mean, having a clone trooper, having clones in the Rebel Alliance, dude. That there's nothing. I don't think there's anything cooler than that. Now, is there?
There isn't indeed. No, I'm just trying to find on YouTube, see if I can find Clone Gregor's laugh, because I just think it's hilarious.
It also reminded me of the that fan series, of that fan stop motion series that someone did with Star Wars action figures of Captain Rex after the Clone Wars. And it's a story that takes place between in between episodes 3, 4, and then time jumps to in between episodes 5 and 6, and it shows Rex kind of what he does, and he eventually finds more clones, and they join the rebellion, and they meet Luke Skywalker and all kinds of people, and that show was probably better than Rebels. I'll give you that. even though Rebels might have been a bit better. I mean, Rebels was better animated. I mean, it was better visually, but story wise, Captain Rex.
I found it. I found Gregor's laugh.
Yeah. The Captain Rex fan series, animation series had more potential in the story, even though it was kind of poorly written. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about that because I'm going to a whole different territory.
That's all right. I'm just gonna quickly show you Gregor's laugh, because it makes me chuckle all the time. His laugh.
Really,
I mean, we should do well today. Like your friend here. Yeah, well, Zeb packs quite a punch. Oh. He's just got to cut the screws, listen, and do it again. Well, Zeb packs quite a punch. Oh. Just makes me laugh. I don't know what it is, but every time I see the episode, it always makes me chuckle. You've got to love Gregor. So yeah, I'll just quickly stop that. So yeah, as you said, you make good points, Alan, about obviously the Lego stop motion series.
It's not Lego; it's action figure.
Sorry, action figure. No, it was really good to kindle the Clone Wars fans again, because obviously there's the likes of Captain Rex and all that lot. But no, it was a really good. I did enjoy the episode, and Gregor's laugh was one of the highlights. He's like, it says to Zeb, "You're the bait." Like, what? You're the bait. Nutter, Gregor, nutter.
Yeah.
Moving on to episode 4, Relics of the Old Republic. The Empire tracks. What's funny? What's funny?
No, go ahead.
What the fuck's funny? Relics of the Old Republic. How the fuck is that funny? It fucking says it there. Look, fucking says it there. You try fucking read shit, man. You're gonna fucking laugh. The Empire tracks the Foal rebels to Sealos. Admiral Constantine and Agent Kallus arrive at the Sealos system to capture the Jedi. Rex gives the Foal rebels a data chip containing old Republic bases in the Outer Rim. Ezra tries to persuade the clones to join the rebellion, but Rex and the clones instead offer to delay the Empire so that the rebels can escape. Agent Kallus commands the clones to hand over the rebels, but when Rex refuses, Kallus arrives with 3 AT-ATs, taking advantage of the standstill, and the false Kanan, Ezra, and the clones use their AT-TE's main gun to destroy one of the AT-ATs. Meanwhile, Admiral Constantine is summoned away by Darth Vader. Instead of meeting him, the Admiral meets Fifth Brother, who claims that he will succeed where Kallus and Constantine have failed. The Foal rebels prepare to leave in the Phantom, but Ezra is unwilling to leave Rex and the clones behind. Kanan, Ezra, and Zeb Commander, one of the AT-ATs, and turn its weapons on Kallus's AT-AT, which Rex destroys with a critical hit. Kallus flees the battle on a speeder. Hera returns to pick up the clones and the Ghost Crew. Returning to the Rebel flotilla, the Foal rebels and Rex reunites with Ahsoka, and there's a lovely hug between Ahsoka and Rex. They meet up again. Anything to add on that episode there, Aaron? Obviously, Rex and Ezra meeting again. Rex and Ahsoka, not Ezra. Go on.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. Very cool moment.
Yeah, as I said, it really kindled Rebels fans there. But no, good episode. Clone Wars fans, obviously, good episode. They escaped, and the Empire are in the shit again. So yeah, moving on to episode 5.
They beat up AT-ATs for fuck's sake.
Even them are not even intimidating.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
I'm gonna let Marvin out.
All right then. Episode 5, always 2 there are. Zeb, Sabine, and Chopper with Ezra volunteering himself to avoid Kanan and Rex head out to an old Republic medical base in search of vital medicine supplies, only to be encountered by 7th Sister and the 5th Brother. The 7th Sister captures Ezra and interrogates him about the whereabouts of Ahsoka Tano, where Sabine is also captured by the 5th Brother. Zeb and Chopper eventually rescue them, and they all barely escape the Inquisitors and head back to the Rebel fleet, where Ezra poignantly questions Kanan about the extra Inquisitors. So I've just read that one out, Alan, about always 2 there are. It's a decent episode. Obviously, we got introduced to another Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels, which is obviously the 7th Sister. The 5th Brother, we saw him as well in this episode. This episode, always 2 there are, with the 2 new Inquisitors. It's okay, but it gets by. Any opinions on the new Inquisitors, Alan?
When they were first introduced, they were pretty cool. Later on, not so much.
Yeah, I agree there. Episode 6, Brothers of the Broken Horn. Ezra sees a distress signal from Vizago's ship. Ezra and Chopper decide to see what has happened. When Ezra and Chopper arrive at the ship, they find out that the ship has been taken over by me, Hando Hanaka. They find out that Vizago is captured inside the ship, and Ezra helps him to get it back. I just like that bit. You are a Jedi. Well, why not be a pirate Jedi? I can actually do a decent Hondo though. I'll give you that.
Your impression is very decent.
You are a Jedi. Be a pirate.
You are a Jedi.
You are a Jedi. I'm played by Jim Cummings, the amazing voice actor who played Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Where is my good friend Kenobi? Kenobi! Skywalker is really my
Yeah.
Where is Kenobi, my old Jedi friend? I could do a good accent of Hondo. But yeah, Hondo, obviously he survived. As we said earlier on, or as you said earlier on, Alan, it would have been a great storyline if Hondo and Lando had teamed up. I'd love to see that happen. The episode's fine. Obviously, Hondo back to his old tricks, and yeah,
it still happen. I mean,
it could still happen. Yeah,
Hondo's not dead. Lando is not dead yet.
Mm-hmm. We don't know. Episode 9 could bring us something different. We don't know, but it's a decent episode. Episode 7 of this, Wings of the Master. Phoenix Squadron tries to break an Imperial blockade in order to provide food supplies to those who need it. But their transport is destroyed and the mission fails. Hera is then tasked to go to a planet whose atmosphere is very difficult to fly in to get a ship being built by a Mon Cala named Quarry that can break the blockade. After nearly crashing her shuttle, Hera manages to convince Quarry to let her pilot the ship called the Blade Wing, or B-Wing for short. With the B-Wing's firepower, Hera manages to single-handedly destroy one of the Imperial blockade ships, allowing the Ghost to break the blockade and deliver the needed supplies. It's a filler episode, nothing really needed to say there, so we're going to move on. Next up, episode 8 is Blood Sisters. Sabine is sent by Hera to acquire an unknown information courier. She goes with Ezra and Chopper, and they find that their courier is a clunky droid. They then encounter Ketsu Onyo, an old friend of Sabine who works as a bounty hunter and is now after the droid. When some stormtroopers begin to fire at them, Sabine and Chopper steal a ship and go off the planet with the droid. Unfortunately, with Ezra left behind, Ketsu also escapes, and after confrontation with Sabine, with her personal ship, captures Chopper, and the two meet up for a trade with the droids. Their activity draws the attention of the Empire ship, and the two team up to escape by setting charges on the stolen ship. Sabine is knocked out and almost left to go with the ship, but Ketsu saves her life, and the explosion allows them and the droid to escape and fly the droids to a rebel location and then meet back up with Ezra and Hera before Ketsu leaves on better terms with Sabine. So that's another filler episode. Don't really need to talk about that, really.
You can almost make a Michael Jackson parody with the filler.
Yeah.
Because it's filler.
Yeah, filler. Episode 9, Stealth Strike. Ezra and Commander Sato are captured when a new Imperial weapon, an experimental indicator cruiser, generates a gravity well strong enough to pull ships out of hyperspace. Hera sends Kanan and Rex and Chopper to rescue them, using a stolen shuttle, stormtrooper armor, and Rex's knowledge of Imperial codes and protocols to infiltrate the cruiser. Although Kanan's lingering distrust of Rex initially hampers the mission, Ezra and Chopper head to the reactor to sabotage the cruiser, but Rex is captured as he and Kanan escort Sato and his crew to their shuttle. Kanan heads back to rescue Rex, and they deploy an escape pod. As Chopper's sabotage causes the gravity well projectors to overload, pulling the other Imperial cruisers towards the indicator and destroying it. Obviously, the Stealth Strike episode, would you say that's filler as well?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty okay episode.
It was a pretty okay episode. Obviously, the relationship between Kanan and Rex obviously goes up, and I believe in the episode that's where they eventually get along. Like Rex salutes, so Kanan salutes Rex, and obviously they salute back, and they put their differences aside because obviously, a decent episode, and we'll move on. So, episode 10, The Future of the Force. Ahsoka informs Kanan that she's continuing her investigation on Sith Lord Darth Vader, but finding information on him is difficult. In the meantime, she receives word of 2 sets of coordinates that cross the Imperial net. She heads to look into one of them while dispatching Kanan, Ezra, and Zeb and Chopper to the other one. Ahsoka arrives at their location first, a ransacked passenger ship adrift in space, and finds signs of weapons damage all over. The lone survivor, a grandmother, claims Tudor Blaze kidnapped her grandchild from her and disappeared. Ahsoka informs the team at their destination on a distant planet that the 2 Inquisitors are involved. Zeb and Chopper locate Inquisitors fighters in the spaceport and reclaim the baby stored in one, destroying them. While Kanan and Ezra find the distressed mother on the second child, Chopper takes the first child to the Phantom Shuttle, where Zeb encounters the Inquisitors on the street after relieving a fleeing droid on the second baby. Kanan, Zeb, and Ezra discover the children are force sensitive and are targeted by the Inquisitors to ensure they do not become Jedi. They attempt to lose the Inquisitors through a housing block on their way back to the shuttle, but are overpowered by them. Ahsoka Tano appears and easily defeats both Inquisitors while the rest escape. Using the Force to jump and join them in the shuttle as it passes overhead, the rebels escape, but not before one of the Seventh Sisters probe droids hears Ezra saying they are going to the planet Gorel. That episode, Alan, anything to add on that? Obviously seeing Ahsoka fight for the very first time in Star Wars Rebels and easily defeating the Inquisitors.
No, it was a pretty okay episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. We won't be talking in much detail with these episodes because obviously most of them are filler in there, and we don't really need to talk about them as much as the Clone Wars ones. Episode 11 is Legacy. Ezra has a vivid dream about his parents, which he's convinced is a vision which led him to discover their fate. Hera and Kanan reveal that they are secretly spent months investigating Imperial prisons and have heard about a recent prison break. As the ghost appears to return to the fold to investigate Ezra's visions, the Imperial fleet arrives at Gorel based on the intelligence from the Seventh Sisters probe droid. Ezra and Kanan escape the foal in the Phantom, while the ghost remains behind to assist the escape of the Rebels' fleet. On the foal, Ezra follows a loaf cat which appeared in his dream to prisoner X-10, one of the escapees, who is the former governor of the foal, Ryder Azrodi. Ryder tells Ezra that his parents heard his broadcast and it is said to inspire them to organise the prison break in which he had escaped. However, Ezra's parents had been killed during the breakout. While saddened to his parents' death, Ezra takes solace in that heard his message and Kanan confronts him by telling him his parents live on inside him. So obviously with that being said, Ezra's parents have died, and Ezra's just got to move on really. So would you say that's a filler episode, Alan? Nothing really to say?
Nothing to say, man.
Nothing really to say. This next episode, why did they include this character in the series? Why? Episode 12, A Princess on the Foal. While Ezra grapples with the news about his parents' death, the rebels make plans with Senator Bail Organa to secure 3 much-needed cruisers. Leading the mission is an agent handpicked by Senator, his daughter Princess Leia. Leia meets up with Kanan and Ezra and plans to have rebels steal her ships so as not to reveal Aldrin's support. However, their plans are thwarted when Imperial security proves to be much stronger than expected. The trio link back up with the Ghost crew, rescuing Ryder from an Imperial patrol. Leia then inspires the crew to come up with a plan to steal the cruisers, with Leia distracting the guards while the Phantom provides air support and Ryder disables the gravity locks on the cruisers. The plan is a success, with the rebels managing to steal all 3 cruisers, while Leia blames the Imperials for their failure to protect them. Inspired by the actions of Leia and the rebels, Ryder decides to join the cause. Right, that episode, Leia does not need to appear in Star Wars Rebels. She does not need to see 2 young Jedi. It is completely pointless, and I don't understand why they added Leia to this episode.
Agreed.
Your thoughts on that, Alan?
Agreed.
She has no meaning. She has no meaning to even appear in Star Wars Rebels. So what the fuck was the point of them doing that? I do not know. And what was the fuck of me as well buying a Princess Leia figure as well? What the fuck was that? But I got it on the cheap, so that's the good thing. She has no need to appear in these episodes.
I mean, I guess they just wanted to pay a homage to the character, and it was somewhat interesting to see her manage her way before she was discovered by Vader to be a rebel. Seeing her be like a double spy and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Episode 13, The Protector of Concord Dawn. With the Empire tightening its cordon around the fold, the rebels look for a new smuggling route. Hera and Sabine head out to the world of Concord Dawn to request safe passage from the Protectors, the Mandalorians faction that controls the world. However, the Protectors reveal that they have sided with the Empire and immediately attack. Hera and Sabine manage to escape, but Hera is critically wounded. Kanan and Sabine return to Concord Dawn, with Kanan still wanting to negotiate with the Protectors, and Sabine wanted to get revenge for Hera. They discover that the Protector leader, Fenrir Kevin the Kid, is being bribed by the Empire. Kanan meets with Raul, revealing that Raul had saved his life during the Clone Wars, and that was the Battle of Nagito, if you didn't know that. I'll just find that in there. Meanwhile, Sabine attempts to sabotage the Protector's fighters, but is caught. She reveals that the Protectors that she is from House Vizsla and challenges Raul to single combat. Working together, Kanan and Sabine capture Raul, and he agrees to allow the rebels safe passage through Concord Dawn. Mandalorians, Aaron, what did you think of them being included in Rebels?
Mandalorians are always a win.
Yeah, always a win. Yeah, always a win. A good episode. Did enjoy it. Obviously, we saw a little bit of the darker side of Sabine, but the Rebels did eventually have a new hyperspace route to smuggle stuff in. Episode 14, Legends of Lasat. Now, that is a filler episode. We'll just read that and we'll move on. Following a tip from Hondo, the Ghost Crew rescues a pair of Lasats from Imperial custody, Chava the Wise and Ron, you can have this names, who both recognise Zeb as the captain of the Lasan on the guard. Chava and Gron explain that they are searching for the mythical world of Real Sun, where the surviving Lasats can be found refuge. However, Zeb is reluctant to help due to his guilt over failing to protect the Lasan from the Empire. With some encouragement, Zeb transforms his BO rifle into its true form and combines it with Chava's stuff, revealing Lasat's location is uncharted wild space. However, they find their way blocked in a dense cluster of black holes while Agent Karis pursues them. Trusting in Chava's wisdom, Zeb uses the energy from his BO rifle to create a protective field around the ghost, allowing it to navigate the black hole cluster safely. On the other side, they find the world of their sun, which is the true home planet of the Lasat people. After dropping off Chava and Grom, Zeb decides to stay on the ghost in order to find more Lasat survivors to guide them back to their sun. It is in this episode that one ancient name of the size of the Force is first revealed by Chava, calling the light side of the Force Ashla and the dark side of the Force Bodhin, and repeated by Bendu on Outerlog in a later episode of Star Wars Rebels. So that episode is filler. Do you need anything to say about that episode, Alan?
I don't have anything to say about filler episodes.
Nah. Probably these next episodes, I'll probably just read them out until like the season's finale of season 2, because they're not really episodes that really engage us, do they? Episode 15, The Call. The Ghost crew is on a mission to capture a fuel shipment from the mining guild to the Empire. In order to restock the Rebels' fleet own diswinding supplies, while travelling to the guild's asteroid refinery, the Ghost encounters a flock of Pearl Girl space travelling creatures whom Hera considers dangerous. However, Ezra manages to establish contact with them through the Force and learns that his crew and the Pearl Girl accidentally pursue the same basic goal. If for slightly different priorities. Upon reaching the mining guild base, the crew shipment and then Kanan decides to raid the base, steal the shipment, and then goes to destroy the base by igniting the rest of the fuel. However, Ezra stops him when he realizes that the Pearl Girl also need the fuel. When it appears as if the mining guild forces will overwhelm the crew, the Pearl Girl arrive and attack the mining guild, giving the crew time they need to escape with the fuel. As the Ghost flees away, the crew witnesses the Pearl Girl going into hyperspace, confirming rumours that they are migratory species capable of faster than light travel without technology. Episode 16, Homecoming. In order to provide safe shelter for their fighters, the rebels plan to capture an Imperial carrier currently stationed above Ryloth, Hera's home planet. In order to pull off the mission, the Ghost crew contacts Hera's father, the famed Twi'lek resistance fighter Cham Syndulla. However, Cham desires to destroy the carrier as a demonstration of power and only agrees to capture it. Hera later tells Ezra that she and her father are not on the best of terms, as Hera believes Cham is obsessed with the Twi'lek resistance, while Cham believes Hera's faith is in the rebellion is misguided. Piloting a captured TIE bomber, Hera successfully infiltrates the crew and Cham's team into the carrier, but Cham's team betrays them and moves to destroy the carrier. Ezra uses a Jedi mind trick to trip on the captain to have the crew abandon ship while Zeb and Sabine. Oops, so we've decided to turn on again. Ezra uses a Jedi mind trick on the captain and Cham's men. Eventually, Hera manages to convince Cham to help her, and they destroy a pursuing Imperial cruiser, achieving the demonstration Cham wanted. After adding the carrier to the Rebels' fleet, Hera and Cham get back together, and the relationship gets back on better terms. Anything to say on that episode, Ellen? About the relationship between Hera and Cham Syndulla?
Nope. Sorry.
Most of these episodes, am I just going to read them out and then we talk about the season finale?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to do that? Because, like I said, there's some episodes that are very filler, and we don't really need to speak about a lot of them. So, yeah.
I agree, man. Episode
17, The Honourable Ones. The Ghost crew receives a tip about Imperial activity around the planet of Geonosis and go to investigate, only to investigate the planet completely. Sorry, just misread the line. They discover the planet has no inhabitants living there, and existence life is gone. And there is evidence of a large weapon having been constructed in orbit. When the crew boards one of the abandoned construction modules, they are ambushed by Agent Kallus. Most of the crew is able to escape back to the ship, but Zeb is forced to take an escape pod. Kallus pursues Zeb into the pod, which gets damaged during the struggle, and the pair crash land on one of the Geonosis' icy moons. Kallus's leg is injured in the crash, and he and Zeb are forced to work together to survive by fending off hostile monsters and climbing out of the cave that they are trapped in. During this, Kallus admits to Zeb that he respects the Sutts as warriors, but dislikes them due to the first squad being wiped out of the Sutt. He also reveals he did not agree with the Empire's decision to exterminate the Sutts, and that's the BO rifle he claimed to have stolen from the Deadly Sutt was actually given to him by the guard after defeating him in honourable combat and a duel. Upon reaching the surface, They activate their emergency transponder. The Ghost arrives to rescue Zeb shortly after. Kallus wishes Zeb to take his chances and wait for Imperial rescue rather than to be a rebel prisoner, and both he and Zeb part ways with a new fond respect for each other. Returning to his Star Destroyer, Kallus is greeted rather coldly, even by Imperial standards, and this episode concludes with him sitting in his quarters deep in thought. Now, the Honourable Ones is actually one of my top 3 favourite episodes from season 2. The reason is because we saw the relationship between him and Zeb. I really do like Zeb and Kallus as characters, but especially Agent Kallus, I did enjoy his role in this. And I actually really did enjoy this episode. I thought the episode was very good. It wasn't too long. You can see the good relationship with them working together. And a fond friendship in a way started there. So Rebels done a good job there. Is there anything to add on that, Adam, from you?
Yeah, no, it was a very great episode.
Anything else to add?
It was a great episode. I liked it. A lot of character development is always welcome. Yeah.
That's right. Episode 18, Shroud of Darkness. Ezra and Kanan are facing off with the Inquisitors again. Decide if it's not safe for them to be around the rebels while they are being targeted by the Empire. And they decide to get advice from Ahsoka. On her advice, the 3 set out to the Jedi Temple on the Fold, where each have a separate vision. Ezra of Master Yoda, Kanan of a Temple Guard who is testing him, and Ahsoka of Anakin/Vader. As the Inquisitors track the group to the temple and force their way inside, Ezra is told by Yoda to find the planet Malachor. Kanan is warned by the guard, who reveals himself to be the former Grand Inquisitor, to be aware of Ezra's temptation of this dark side, dubbing Kanan the official rank of Jedi Master, a rank he was never able to achieve due to the execution of Order 66 and extermination of the Jedi Order. During Ahsoka's vision, Ahsoka faces her guilt over not being present during the fall of the Jedi, while also accepting the fact that her former master, Anakin Skywalker, has become the Sith Lord Darth Vader. The 3 escape as the shades of the Temple Guards hold off the Inquisitors. Vader and the Empire forces arrive at the temple as Ahsoka informs Ezra that Malachor is not a person, but a place. Anything to add on that episode, Anne? Ahsoka finding out that Vader is actually Darth Vader.
Cool episode.
You don't really need to say a lot, do you? Because, like I said, you're not a fan of Rebels, are you? So,
I mean, yeah, no, it's whenever it comes to character development and when it comes to like Jedi missions and lightsaber battles and things like Ahsoka discovering that Anakin is Darth Vader, those are cool episodes. But I still don't have much to say about him,
Yeah. If I just read out the episodes, if you just want to say filler, I'll read them out and we can move on, move the stream quickly. Because I'm not going to.
I apologize in advance.
No, I'm not going to lie. I want to get through this Rebel stream pretty quick because, yeah, I don't have a lot of things to say about it. Just want to do it.
Right.
Episode 19, The Forgotten Droid.
Filler.
While on a Ghost Crew mission to steal fuel, Chopper steals a replacement structure for his leg. Chopper is separated from the Ghost Crew and finds himself stranded on an Imperial freighter. He is eventually discovered by the ship's inventory droid, AP5, but does not report him upon finding out Chopper is a veteran of the Clone Wars, just like him. Shut up! I'm reading. AP5 complains that the Empire does not appreciate his restraining bolt, and the 2 work together to trap the crew in the cargo hold and detach it from the ship. Chopper makes contact with the Ghost Crew, and AP5 warns them that the Empire knows the destination and has set up a trap. AP5 is shot by a freighter captain, and as he transmits new coordinates, but the Ghost crew manages to repair him by using parts of Chopper's stolen leg. Nothing really to say there, we're going to move on. Episode 20. The Mystery of Chopper Base. After finding a planet that is safe from the Empire, the Rebel fleet lands to set up their base. However, one of their scouts goes missing after setting up a sensor beacon. Sabine and Rex go to investigate, then they are attacked by a swarm of twinkling spiders. Sabine is rescued by the Ghost crew, but Rex is captured by the spiders. The crew follows them and rescues Rex, but cannot escape upon finding that the spiders have trapped the Ghost crew with the web. Sabine discovers that the spiders cannot go near the sensor beacons they had set it up, and uses one of them to get away from the rest of the crew. The crew cuts the web and escapes. Back at the base, instead of abandoning the planet, the rebels use their sensor beacons as a makeshift barrier to keep the spiders away. Ezra, Kanan, and Ahsoka decide to head to the planet Malachor to find a way to deal with the Inquisitors. Another filler episode there.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move on to the season finale of season 2, is there any comments in the chat?
The Dan O channel is in chat, says hello, but he didn't say much else. Connor is telling us about something about what blows his mind. Why someone else's responsibility should be mine, he says. Like, why the fuck would I have to do it? It's not my fault, right? And I'm asking for context. And he says, well, what I'm about to say is gonna sound mean, but tell me if I'm in the wrong. So I'm waiting for him to say what he has to say so I can see if he's in the wrong or not.
Okay. Moving on to the season 2 finale of Star Wars Rebels, Twilight of the Apprentice.
Yeah.
This was one of my favourites, including obviously the previous episode, the honourable ones. Ahsoka, Ezra, and Kanan and Chopper arrive on the planet Malachor, a Sith world long forbidden to the Jedi. In search of knowledge, discovering a cavern containing a Sith temple amid the site of an ancient battlefield between Sith and Jedi who use cross-guarded lightsabers. They soon are attacked by a new Inquisitor, the 8th Brother, who is hunting a mysterious hermit. Yeah, the 8th Brother. What the fuck was the point of him? We only saw him once, and he fucking got killed. That was shit. So yeah, the 8th Brother. He was going after a mysterious hermit calling himself Old Musk. When Ezra encounters the hermit, he reveals himself to be Maul, voiced by Sam Witwer, and offers to help Ezra get into the temple, aiding him in recovering his Sith holocron. When the other Inquisitors arrive and alert Darth Vader of their presence, Ezra convinces the group to work together in spite of Kanan's fears that Maul's corrupting his student, allowing him to finally kill the 3 Inquisitors. However, Maul soon betrays the group and blinds Kanan with his lightsaber, revealing his true intentions of making Ezra his apprentice. Although sightless, Kanan dons the mask of a fallen Jedi Temple guard and manages to throw Maul from the top of the temple. Ahsoka finally faces Darth Vader, who is concerned that Ezra, who has burns, Ezra, taken out and destroys his lightsaber and comes to terms with his identity as Anakin Skywalker as she engages him in a duel. While Kanan and Ezra remove the Sith holocron, unable to abandon her old master, Ahsoka stays within the crumbling temple and stalls Vader while Ezra, Kanan, and Chopper flee to the planet and reunite with the Ghost crew. Maul flees Malachor while Vader, who survived the destruction of the temple, walks away as a convoy watches from above. As the Ghost crew tries to cope with their losses, Ezra continues to meditate on the Sith holocron and finally succeeds in opening it. And I just want to say, that bird that we do see in the season 2 finale. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alan. I think it's the same bird that we see in the Ghost of Mortis episodes in Star Wars: The Clone Wars season 3. So yeah. Overall opinions on the season finale of season 2.
Very strong episode.
Very strong episode.
We get Maul back.
Yes,
which
is awesome.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
which is awesome. There was a brief tender moment of him fighting with the good guys,
and then the bad guys, and obviously killing the Inquisitors by chopping the Seventh Sister's head off, and obviously killing the fifth brother, which I thought was sick.
Yeah, but it was cool to see them all in action, and Maul returning is just awesome. It was awesome, and him trying to seduce Ezra to the dark side was also interesting to see. What might have been, what could have been even more interesting to see is Maul interacting with Vader. But that's something I guess we'll never see. But speaking of Vader, we finally get the confrontation between Vader and Ahsoka, and that was legendary. I mean,
very much.
I wish it lasted longer, but it is what it is, and it was legendary, and it was. I mean, it was it was great. It's just it sucks that we like there were like cuts in the middle to show Ezra again.
Your favorite character.
My favorite character to hate. Hello.
Overall, I really enjoyed the season finale. I thought it was very, very cool. Obviously, it's collided into 2 episodes, but my 3 favourite episodes from that season 2 were obviously the Twilight of the Apprentice and the Honourable One episodes. And if I was to rate season 2 out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. What about you, Alan?
7 out of 10. I'll you know what? I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 because all those returning characters from the Clone Wars, they brought they made the show better. So yeah, I'll give the 0.5 there.
0.5, okay. Anything else in the chat before we move on to season 3?
No, nothing else in the chat.
No, nothing else now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my light on because it is getting a little bit dark in here, so I'll just do that. Okay, moving on to season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. Right, just putting it there. Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels, episodes 1 and 2. Steps into Shadow. 6 months after the events of the previous season, Ezra leads a mission to rescue Hondo and Akoko from the Imperial prison. Wielding a new lightsaber and displaying his full skills that he's learned from the Sith Holocron in the process, Hondo's intel regards a squadron of Wyverns due to be destroyed as an Imperial shipyard that the rebels set out to appropriate, with Ezra being given command for the mission. Kanan, meanwhile, is struggling with his blindness when he discovers Ezra uses the full Holocron and uses it for his own benefit. Before being summoned out into the Alonn wilds by a mysterious call that proves to be from the Bendu, voiced by the actor Tom Baker, an ancient force user who is neither Jedi or Sith. Meanwhile, Governor Price decides that the grand rebel threat requires a great response and relinquishes the Seventh Fleet, which is revealed to be under the leadership of recently promoted Grand Admiral Thrawn. voiced by the actor Lars Mikkelsen. The Bendu helps Kanan to realise that the Force grants his abilities that can make up for his lost sight, and on sensing Ezra's peril on the mission, Kanan leaves to go help them. Leaving the holocron with the Bendu, the Rebels manage to secure a handful of fighters, but loses the Phantom after Ezra sets the shipyard plummeting, and it's only the timely arrival of the Ghost and the other Rebel ships to save them after. Thrawn determines that they are not dealing with the entire Rebel fleet and orders his forces to allow their escape. Ezra is suspended but expresses his gratitude to Kanan for rejoining the action while the Rebels learn that the Y-Wings are to be delivered to General Dodano's units. Now, Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2. Any thoughts on that, Alan, apart from the reveal of Grand Admiral Thrawn to the TV show?
What do you feel about Thrawn coming to the show?
I honestly thought it was okay. I honestly thought when Thrawn was brought into that season, it brought more of a more nervousness and what the Empire should be, like scary, tactical, effective soldiers who can get the job done. But I thought Thrawn was very good to be brought back into that.
Yeah,
I did enjoy his presence. And I really did like him in season 3 and in season 4. What was your opinion on him?
yeah, no, I agree. I enjoyed him. I don't have much to complain about Thrawn. I mean, I don't have anything to complain about Thrawn other than maybe like I wish we had seen him more in action, but that's just like a nitpick because he's more of a tactical person and less so of an on field type of guy. But yeah, Thrawn. I bet a lot of people were hyped about him, and I think they did him well. Yeah.
Did you think it was right for him to be brought into the TV show?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it was good with him. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm okay with him being added to the show because I'd rather have him than someone that looks and acts like him. And that isn't him,
Yeah. Okay, alright, moving on to episode 3, the Holocrons of Fate. Kanan, Ezra, and some Rebel soldiers are about to dock on another Rebel cruiser. That cruiser seems to be damaged, so they board to investigate. There is a soldier laying on the ground and claims that the red blade cut him and was forced to give up the Ghost Crew's location. They contact her only to find out that Maul has already captured them. Kanan and Ezra agreed to give Maul both the Sith and Jedi holocrons. If not, the rest of the crew of the Ghost will die. Kanan and Ezra will return to the Bendu to retrieve the Sith holocron. The Bendu first test Kanan and Ezra, having them to navigate a cave infested with spiders. Kanan teaches Ezra to be able to move among the spiders without alerting them and retrieve the holocron. The Bendu then warns the pair of them that the Jedi and Sith holocrons combined, they would be able to grant the wielder knowledge of the Force, but at a price. Kanan and Ezra then meet up with Maul. Kanan rescues the Ghost Crew while Maul combines the holocrons with Ezra. Kanan manages to interrupt the process. Maul flees, now knowledgeable that someone is still alive. Ezra receives visions of various locations, including twin suns, but cannot make sense of them. And Kanan assures him that they will find the answers together. Anything to add on that episode, Alan?
Is that the one when they merge the holocrons or not yet?
It's that one. It's that one, the Holocrons
Oh
of
yeah,
Fate. It's that one.
yeah. It was pretty cool to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good one.
yeah, I did enjoy
I
it.
think
I thought it was good.
every episode with Maul, was an okay episode
Yeah, yeah,
and worth a watch.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'll be right back. Okay,
Okay, I'm just going to read the stuff
go
and
ahead, go
we'll
ahead.
go on. The Antilles extraction. The rebellion begins suffering heavy casualties due to the Imperial ambushes on their convoys, and they risk running out of pilots. Fortunately, they receive a tip from the New Falkland that several Imperial cadets at Skystrike Academy are willing to defect. Sabine is selected to infiltrate the academy, and she meets and befriends a fellow cadet named Wedge Antilles and Nathan Quest. Wedge Antilles was by Nathan Quest. Uh, Ezra and Kanan wait in space with a transport ready to evacuate Sabine once she finds the defectors. Meanwhile, Governor Price and Agent Case arrive at the academy to root out the defectors. Sabine figures out Wedge is one of the defectors and she assures him that she will get him and her friends Hobby and Rack to the rebellion. Price then organises a trap by arranging a training flight in space. Sabine and Wedge take the bait only to find that their fighters have been sabotaged. Sabine, Wedge and Hobby are captured and Rack is killed while Ezra and Kanan are forced to retreat. Price attempts to interrogate Sabine, but Sabine manages to knock her out and escape. Freeing Wedge and Hobby as well, Callis secretly provides assistance to Sabine in order to play his debts. Sabine and Wedge manage to steal a TIE bomber with Ezra and return to the Rebel base safely. So that was a decent episode. We got an interesting look at a future Star Wars Rebels pilot called Wedge Antilles, and it was a decent episode. Episode 5, Hera's Heroes. The Ghost crew makes a supply run to the Twi'lek Resistance on Ryder, only to find out that Charm, only to find out that from Charm that it's under leadership from Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Imperials have begun to seize the upper hand and have captured their home and converted it into their headquarters. This also means that the Killer Glory, an important family heirloom, is in Imperial hands as well. Determined to retrieve her Kalakori, Hera decides to return to her home and infiltrate the Imperial headquarters. She and Ezra sneak into the base while the rest of the crew and Charm distract the Imperial patrols. However, Thrawn predicts Hera's actions and captures her and Ezra and decides to keep her Corey for himself. He then arranges a deal with Charm where Hera and Ezra live in a spare. Where Hera and Ezra lives will be spared. With Charm Sendu turns himself in. However, with help from Chopper, Hera creates a distraction by destroying her home and Imperial headquarters with explosives, and everyone escapes under the Ghost crew. Meanwhile, Thrawn observes the entire event and, impressed with Hera's actions, decides to let the rebels escape. Back on the Ghost, Hera reassures her crew that even though she wasn't able to recover the Kalakori, the most important thing is that she's back with her family and friends. So that episode was decent and nothing really to say, but we're going to move on.
Which episode was that?
That was the one called. I've read both of them. I read the Antilles Extraction and Hera's Heroes. The Antilles Extraction was obviously when Sabine met up with Wedge Antilles and obviously defected to become a rebel pilot. And Hera's Heroes was the one where they were using her house as an Imperial headquarters and she wanted her family heirloom recovered. Star Wars Rebels Season 3 Episode 6, one of my favourite episodes from this TV show, The Last Battle. On a Saurus mission to an old Clone Wars battlefield led by Captain Rex, the Ghost crew is captured by a unit of old battle droids. The commander, a super tactical droid named General Kalani, managed to avoid the army-wide shutdown command and wants to pit his forces against Rex and the Jedi in order to conclude whether the Separatist or the Republic forces are superior once and for all. As Rex, Ezra, and Kanan battle the droids, Chopper manages to sneak away and send a distress signal to Hera and Sabine. Ezra then discovers that Chopper immediately afterwards has also discovered a trio of intact and still space-worthy Nomadian shuttles. However, the Empire also receives the distress ball and dispatches an assault force. Rex and the Jedi manage to reach Kalani and also points out that neither of them, the Republic or Separatist forces, won the Clone Wars, but were in fact both defeated by the Empire. Ezra also notes that since the Separatists were originally fighting to resist trainee, the battle droids should naturally oppose the Empire. Kalani sees the logic in Ezra's words with the Ghost Crew and droids working together to escape the Imperial assault, falls into two of the trio of vintage shuttles Choppers found. The one of which Spectrus escapes with becoming a lost Phantom's replacement craft, calculating that the rebellion has a 1% chance of succeeding against the Empire. Kalani parts ways with the rebels. Rex congratulates Ezra for doing what no senator does, no clone or Jedi ever would, convincing clones and battle droids to set aside their differences. Note: this episode pays homage to its predecessor, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, as the title of Akoko is stylized after its predecessor, and the closing credits theme is the same from the Clone Wars.
That was a great episode.
It was a very good episode. I really enjoyed the writing as well that they done. It was really, really good. Good to see clone and droids and Jedi fighting.
Who'd have believed?
Who'd have believed it?
Yeah, who would have believed to see battle droids in the Empire era?
Yeah. And who received a clone trooper and two Jedi fighting as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very good. Episode 7, Imperial Super Commandos. Sabine continues to try to convince Fen Rao to have his protectors formally join the rebellion, but Fen Rao remains loyal to Mandalore. When contact with the protectors is lost, Sabine, Ezra and Chopper are sent with Fen Rao to investigate. However, when they arrive, they find the protector's base completely destroyed. After they destroy Imperial Probe Droid, a squad of Imperial Mandalorians led by Darth Saxon arrive to investigate. Ezra and Chopper are captured while Sabine and Fen manage to escape. While spying on Gar, Fen realizes that the Empire intended to destroy him and their protectors all along, and decides to join the forces with Sabine. Sabine rescues Ezra and Chopper, but Fen seemingly betrays them when he takes their shuttle and escapes without them. Gar Saxon explains how Sabine's defection to the rebellion caused a disgrace to her family, who have now pledged their allegiances to the Empire. Sabine, Ezra and Chopper tries to flee Gar Saxon and his men, and are assisted by Fen, who helps them escape, but not before Sabine defeats Gar in hand-to-hand combat. Fen, impressed by Sabine's loyalty to the rebellion and her friends, decides to officially join the rebellion. Move on, Adam.
Was that a Mandalorian-based episode?
Yeah, Imperial Super Commanders. That was the one where Fen Rao officially joins the rebellion.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Really, really good.
That was an okay one, yeah.
Episode 8, Iron Squadron. The Ghost Crew arrives at the planet to evacuate anti-Imperial soldiers. They are assisted by another armed freighter that identifies itself as Iron Squadron. Commander Sato explains that the Iron Squadron used to be led by his brother, but was killed in combat, leaving the squadron under the leadership of his headstrong nephew, Mart. While the rest of the crew evacuates this...
Whose brother?
Commander Sato's brother, his nephew.
Oh, yeah.
Ezra and Sabine board Iron Squadron ship and meet Mart and his crew. However, they are young and inexperienced, and their hyperspace drive isn't working. When Thrawn learns of Iron Squadron's actions, he sends a larger force. Ezra, Sabine, and Mart's crew flee, while Mart stays behind to fight the Imperials after that his fighter is disabled. The Ghost Crew and his commander Satos return to rescue Mart and barely manage to escape Thrawn's ambush. Now safe, Mart and his friends decide to join the rebellion. So that's it for the episode. We'll move on. Next up, we're going to move on to episode 9, the Wakatu Job. The rebels form an uneasy alliance with Honda in order to break an abandoned Imperial ship to steal its valuable cargo, with Hondo promising them a shipment of proton bombs in return. However, the cargo ship is dangerously close to a heavy storm, making a salvage attempt hazardous. They enlist the aid of AP5, but Kanan and Hera are worried that Ezra puts too much trust in Hondo. The group manage to board the ship and finds the cargo they are looking for. However, as they load the cargo onto the Ghost, they are attacked by Imperial sentry droids, which are protecting the ship. Both the rebels and Hondo's crew manage to narrowly escape the cargo ship before it plunges into the storm. And while the rebels were able to retrieve most of the proton bombs, Hondo is unable to secure any of his treasure. In addition, Ezra comes to realise how little Hondo cares about his own crew or business partners. Episode 10, An Inside Man. Ezra and Kanan return to the fold to scout the Imperial factory there, intended to destroy it. With the help of local resistance cell led by Ryder, they manage to infiltrate the factory disguised as workers in order to gain intelligence of a new weapon the Empire is developing. However, Thrawn is present in the factory and locks it down, suspecting rebel spies are sabotaging the vehicles being made there. Ezra, Kanan, and Chopper manage to steal the weapon data and are assisted by Callus, who reveals to them that he is Fulton. The three manage to escape the factory and stolen walkers and get the data to the rebels. After analysing the data, they discover that Thrawn is developing a new TIE fighter, the TIE Defender, which, unlike other TIE fighters, comes equipped with shields and heavy weaponry. Thrawn deduces that the rebels could not have retrieved the data without help from the Inside Man. However, instead of hunting for the spy, Thrawn decides to wait, intended to use the spy against the rebels. Next up, Vision and Voices. Ezra has many visions recently of Darth Maul, who approaches him and Kanan as they consult the Bendu, offering a deal. Maul threatens to reveal Chopper Base to the Empire unless Ezra accompanies him to complete a ritual in order to reveal both of them information they are after about the Sith and Jedi holocrons. Maul and Ezra arrive on Dathomir, where they use dark magic to complete their holocron vision. A desert planet. A desert planet with two of the Night Sisters' clan, Kanan and Sabine, arrive, having tracked Ezra to Dathomir, but they are possessed by the range of the altar, which is the source of spirit's power. He offers himself to the Night Sisters to free Kanan but destroy the altar. As they leave, Sabine grabs the darksaber used by Maul. Kanan asks Ezra about his visions and reveals that he means to defeat the Sith and to target Maul's vengeance are on the same Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anything to add on them previous episodes, or should we move on, Adam?
Anything with Darth Maul is a win.
Yeah. Episodes 12.
It was great to go back to Dathomir and see all those Easter eggs.
Yeah. Episode 12 and 13, Ghosts of Geonosis. After the legendary Saw Gerrera, voiced by Forrest Whitaker, and the Rebel squad go missing on Geonosis, the Ghost crew is sent to investigate. Ezra, Kanan, Rex, and Chopper split off to search for Saw, while Hera, Sabine, and Zeb stay behind to salvage a still operational shield generator. Ezra and his group are rescued from a battle droid ambush by Saw, who explains that the droids killed the rest of his team, and they were rebuilt by a Geonosian survivor. Ezra, Saw, and the rest of the group pursue the Geonosian and activates more battle droids, which attack Sabine and Zeb. Ezra manages to corner the Geonosian and Saw destroys its control device, disabling all battle droids. Saw then begins to interrogate the Geonosian, demanding that he tells them what the Empire was building on Geonosis. In response to Saw's questions, the Geonosian, nicknamed Click Clack, draws two circles in the dirt. Now understanding what Click-Clack is trying to say, Saw handcuffs Click-Clack and forces him to lead them deeper into the ruins. Ezra becomes concerned at the hostility Shaw is shown to Click-Clack, and Rex explains that Saw's sister was killed by a Geonosian-built gunship during the Clone Wars. Meanwhile, an Imperial patrol detects life signs on Geonosis and sends scouts to investigate. Underground, Click-Clack leads the rebels to a hideout where protecting a Geonosian queen egg. The rebels then bring Click-Clack back to the Ghost Crew, where Saw begins torturing Click-Clack and threatens to destroy the egg if he does not talk. Ignoring the crew's objections, Ezra then points out Saw would be no better than the Empire if the Imperial send an attack force after the Ghost force him to flee deep underground. In an underground chamber, they find large containers full of poison gas that the Imperials had used to exterminate the Geonosians. Saw decides to give the Geonosian a second chance at survival and lets Click-Clack go. Click-Clack flees deeper into the tunnels. The rebels then try to escape with the gas canisters to use them as proof of the Empire's actions. But the pictures the crew had taken used as propaganda to further the rebels' cause. Kanan reminds Ezra that, like Saul, not all rebels fight for the same cause or for the same reasons, but Hera uses that desperate misgivings about him. Saul proved that he was a better than the Imperials. Now, I thought that episode Ghost of Geonosian was very cool. It gave you an insight on how the Empire was building the Death Star for episode 4, A New Hope. I did like the Geonosian Click-Clack, voiced by Matthew Woods, who obviously voiced the Battle Droids and General Grievous in the Clone Wars TV show. And it was a good episode, and we kind of saw the extreme side of Saw Gerrera and what he was like. Because obviously he lost his sister Steela during the first couple of episodes of season 5 of the Clone Wars. Anything to say on that, Alan, before we move on to episode 14, Warhead?
No, not really.
Not really, no?
No.
Just listen to me and all that lot.
Yep.
All right, then. Next up, Warhead. While the rest of the Ghost Crew and Phoenix Squadron are away on an exercise mission, Zeb is left in charge of security at Chopper Base. At the same time, the Empire launches a large number of disguised infiltrator droids throughout the galaxy, and one of these units lands near Chopper Base. Damaged by the spiders and losing its memory, it is taken in by Zeb, Chopper, and AP5. But after all the information case about the nature of the found liking, Zeb tries to apprehend it. Once it realises that it's inside Rebel Base, the droid itself infiltrates proves a tough nut to crack, especially since the battle droid is confined to a storage area filled with wild explosives. After a hard struggle, Zeb and the droids manage to take it down before the transmitter is sent out, blowing up the base before prospect of the droid either blowing up the base or the Empire coming to look for it. Zeb instructs AP5 to set the detonator to stall its countdown until the infiltrator transmission is collecting information by the Empire. After reactivation, the droid travels back to its base ship and blasts it apart, and it self-destructs. But this event nevertheless gives ground level form enough information to narrow down its search for its rebel base. And obviously with that episode as well, we saw Callus acting on behalf of the rebels to infiltrate the Empire. Episode 15, next up, is the Trials of the Darksaber. Upon being told by Fenrir which status the Darksaber, Sabine recovered from Dathomir holds among the Mandalorians, especially the prestigious House of Isla, who ruled Mandalore. Kanan decides that Sabine should wield it in order to rally the Mandalorians into the ranks of the Imperial Rebel Alliance. Sabine, who resents her family, reluctantly agrees to the proposal and treats Kanan and Ezra to the Bendu's knowledge. Kanan's are impatient. Tensions ensue between the two, which accumulate in Sabine walking away from her training, but after in talk with Hera, an apology, Sabine's return. Kanan offers her the dark saber, and the training begins in earnest. As it progresses, Sabine is also forced by Kanan to let loose with her own emotional turmoil, revealing at last the truth about her past. She feels guilty about the weapons she has designed and wants to save them from the Empire's clutches, only to see her own family turning their backs on her due to their fear of the Empire. Upon its difficult confession, Kanan, Ezra, and Themrel profess their loyalty to Sabine, no matter what cause she will eventually choose. Trials of the Lightsaber, very, very good. Seeing Sabine's character progress even more throughout Season 3. I thought Season 3 really managed to manage well characters' development, and I thought Season 3 Sabine was one of the top characters who her character really progressed, really. So hats off to Rebels there. Anything to add on that, Adam?
Nope.
No? Just want me to just keep reading and get through them as quick as you can?
Yep.
The Legacy of Mandalore. Sabine, Ezra, Kanan, and Themrel travel to Alonn to the Mandalorian sector in order to strengthen out matters with Sabine's family. However, the initial reception is quite hostile since Sabine is still considered a traitor to her family due to her defection from the Empire. Upon being presented with the Darksaber, Sabine's mother, Countess Ursa, allows her daughter to the benefit of a personal conversation, but is still too fearful of an Imperial appraisal against her people and her husband held hostage to join with the rebellion. And also she decides to set out the Jedi to guard Saxon in exchange for Sabine's freedom. Saxon, however, immediately goes back on his words and de-announces the entire clan being traitors to the Empire. Sabine engages in a personal duel against Saxon and the Darksaber. Sabine emerges victorious, but as she broken ties with her daughter. But seeing the chaos Mandalore will face with the demise of the Empire, Governor Sabine and Rel decide to stay behind and help restore order, and for Sabine to find the one person she is truly worthy of leading her people into war against the Empire. Anything to add on that one, Adam, about family issues with Sabine?
The who now?
The issues with Sabine's family.
I mean, we they were the issues were justified. I mean, yeah, of course it would cause conflict. All that she did in the Imperial Academy, it kind of didn't go well with her family's with her family's values, I guess.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next up, we're going to go on to episode 17, Through Imperial Eyes. An Imperial light cruiser over the fort intercepts a shuttle fleeing the planet. On board are Ezra Bridger, disguised as a bounty hunter, and the droids Chopper and AP-5. Ezra tells Agent Callis that the rebels believe the Empire has intercepted one of their transmissions as Fulcrum, and they come to help them defect if his cover's blown. Grand Admiral Thrawn arrives in his Star Destroyer Chimera and informs the officers on board that we have Admiral Colonel Alonn of the ISB to locate a rebel spy in their midst. Callis swaps his code cylinders with that of Lieutenant List and uses List's credentials to free Ezra and infiltrate Thrawn's office. where where the where believing that Governor Price to be the traitor stuns her as she tries to stop the rebels from leaving and is arrested as a spy. With Bliss believed to be Falcon, Callis decides to remain with the Empire, though is in conversation with Alonn. Thrawn reveals that he knows Callis is the spy and intends to use them to his advantage. Through Your Imperial Eyes, Alan. A very good episode there. Would you agree?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of seeing what the Empire are going to really do with Callis's treacheries and everything. But a very good episode there, and an enjoyable episode as well, which was good as well.
Yeah, it was the transition for Callis.
Yeah, big time. Damn, this is a lot of reading to do.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, man.
Yeah, I'm just checking what season 4.
All that effort for such a dull cause. I mean, for such a subject, you know.
Yeah, it's like we're nearly done anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get on to season 4 and I'll briefly read parts as well. Like I said, I do apologise to anyone watching if it hasn't been a major interaction stream, because this is just a Rebel stream I wanted to do, but it's not going to be much interaction because these episodes are mainly filler. So
yeah,
we'll be talking about them more later on. Episode 18, Secret Cargo. The crew of the Ghost waits in a junk field with the refuel a rebel ship carrying a secret cargo. The Ghost is found by an Imperial infiltrator probe droid, which the crew manages to destroy, but not before it transmits their location to the Empire. The rebel ship arrives and the cargo is revealed to be Senator Mon Mothma, who is in the run after recently speaking out against the Empire in the Senate. The two Imperial cruisers and her crew evacuate to the Ghost. Grand Admiral Thrawn solicits that Hera will attempt to escape them. Hera manages to destroy the two TIEs by flying close to the star, but the defender survives and manages to send a tracker beam by Governor Price's Star Destroyer. Ezra and Gold Leader manage to disable the TIE defender causes massive damage to the Star Destroyers, escaping into hyperspace. The Ghost brings Mothma to Dantooine, where she transmits a message to the rebel cells urging the formation of a rebel alliance. As the Ghost crew watches its amazement, dozens of capital ships from around the galaxy drop out of hyperspace in response to the call to rebellion. Double droid agent. Chopper, AP-5 and Reg Antilles are sent on a mission to an Imperial facility to steal access codes for the factory on the Fold. AP-5 manages to successfully locate and steal their codes. Meanwhile, Chopper accesses the Imperial network and draws the attention of the controller, an Imperial agent who controls an advanced spy ship. Using his ship's capabilities, the controller remotely seizes control of Chopper, intending to use them to locate the rebels' base. With their mission successful, Chopper, AP-5 and Reg head back to the Imperial shuttle. AP-5 begins to suspect something is wrong with Chopper, and acts not like his usual self. The rest of the crew think AP-5 is just squabbling with Chopper again, though Hera begins to have his suspicions as well. The controller then uses Chopper to lock the crew in the cargo hold, where it attempts to hack the Ghost computer. AP-5 manages to override the door controls, allowing the crew to disable Chopper. Angry that the Imperials have harmed her droid, Hera sends a counter-signal back to the controller, overloading his ship's systems and causing it to explode. Chopper returns to normal and begins bickering with AP-5 again. Now, I'd just like to say as well, it's made me laugh reading this episode, Double Droid Agent. One of the funniest things I have seen in Star Wars, let alone Star Wars episode, is hearing a protocol droid sing.
I knew you were going to say that.
AP-5, with such an amazing voice, he looks like Mary Poppins in space, an absolute amazing voice. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, even though it can be very annoying to some Star Wars fans, but I thought it was absolutely brilliant the way they handled that.
What song did he sing again?
I don't know. See if you can find it on YouTube if you get the time later on. Just type in AP5 droid singing, and it's just fantastic. It says I'm all alone. It's just
Like
fantastic singing
like
from Stephen
in
Stanton.
my memory, he sings, "I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid."
If you can get the opportunity after the stream,
Wait,
watch it.
what's the name of the droid again?
The name of the droid is AP5
AP5 Star
singing.
Wars Rebels sings.
Wow, this is a lot of reading, but we're getting through it.
Yeah.
We've only got 2 episodes to go from season 3, and then we're moving to the last season. Oh goodness. Do you need to move on, Alan?
Yeah, I can hear him now singing.
You hear him singing?
Mhm. Yeah, he's like singing, and then the ship comes, and he's like, "No, go away! I was so happy."
He's good, isn't he? He's fantastic. The next episode.
Yeah, no, I don't know the lyrics though. I mean, I just watched it and forgot.
Yeah. The next episode is Twin Sons, and this was the final episode that Darth Maul appeared in. After receiving a holocron message, Ezra tells the Ghost Crew that he must go to Tatooine to save Obi-Wan Kenobi from Darth Maul. The crew refuses as they believe that Kenobi is dead and the message is a trap sent by Maul. Ezra and Chopper sneak onto Tatooine. Ezra and Chopper set off across the desert in search of Kenobi. After several hours, Chopper and Ezra get lost. They absolutely knackered, exhausted, with thirst. And Ezra is then halted by visions of Maul, telling him that he's found his loved ones. Shortly after, Ezra passes out. Upon waking him, he finds that Obi-Wan Kenobi rescued him and Chopper. Ezra tries to warn Kenobi that Maul is after him and asks him to help the rebellion. However, Kenobi refuses to say that he has no intention of fighting Maul. And now and the rebellion has already been formed. It needs to fight the Empire. As Maul finds the pair, Kenobi sends Ezra to safety and quickly defeats Maul. Before Maul dies, Kenobi reveals to him that he's watching over whom he believes to be the Chosen One. Ezra and Chopper returns to base with Maul's ship. Ezra tells the rebels that Maul is gone and apologizes for sneaking away. The episode ends with Kenobi watching a young Luke Skywalker at the Lars moisture farm from a distance. Now, Twin Sons was also the last. Have you got me in the background, Alan?
What?
I can hear myself in the background. Have you muted the video?
Of course, it's supposed to be muted. Yeah,
Okay.
it is muted.
Oh, it is? Okay. So I think I'm hearing things. Your opinion, do you think Obi-Wan was necessary to be in Star Wars Rebels?
I mean, it's cool that we got a bit of Obi-Wan, and of course, it's cool that we finally seal Darth Maul's story arc. I feel like this wasn't the time or the place to do that, though.
Yeah.
This should have been a completely separate storyline in a different media. Like they should have made a movie about that. Okay, they shouldn't have made that part of Rebels, because Ezra's presence ruined everything in that episode.
Yeah, little shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Ezra needed to be there. They should have just done an episode of Kenobi and Maul, or Maul going to there Ezra shouldn't even been involved, if I'm honest.
Or just leave that bit for the for the Kenobi movie that should happen.
Yeah.
Even though, you know what? No, actually, I don't. At this point, I don't even want a Kenobi movie to happen because I'm afraid they'll ruin it.
Yeah. Okay, now it's a decent episode, but I think Ezra shouldn't have been
Yeah,
involved.
no, it was a decent episode.
Yeah. Moving on.
By the way, yeah, that episode, it reminds me that when there was the Star Wars show, they told us, they told the fans, like, yeah, recreate the Darth Maul screaming Kenobi scene, and I made like a short animation of Darth Maul screaming Kenobi, and then it shows Kenobi, and then he's like, hi, hee, like Stewie.
Yeah.
And that was featured later on in the following week in the Star Wars show.
You got that video light, so you can go back and watch it.
I mean, no, I didn't prepare that video to. I mean, I didn't. I don't have it open here.
No, I'm saying, have you liked it? Have you got
But,
it saved on your liked list so you can watch it again?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to like scroll a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you were there a couple years ago, then you'd seen it. It was like, I think, when was it? It was probably like April 2017, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was.
Somewhere around that time, yeah.
Okay, moving on to the season finale of season 3, 0 Hours, episodes 21 and 22. Various rebel cells begin to gather on the planet Alonn. However, Thrawn is aware of the rebels' plans and tells Governor Price and Grand Moff Tarkin the real performance is about to begin.
That was the weakest season finale out of the series.
Callus tries to warn the rebels, but is captured by Grand Admiral Thrawn and traces his transmission and determines the rebels' base location is on Alonn. Thrawn sends his fleet to the planet, which includes major heavy cruisers and heavy weapons. Commander Sato sacrifices himself by crashing his carrier into one of the Star Destroyers, giving Ezra a window to escape. On Alonn, Kanan attempts to talk to the Bendu for help. The Bendu is reluctant to help. Kanan also accuses the Bendu of being a coward and eventually angers the Bendu, and he disappears. Ezra contacts Mon Mothma for help, and Ezra decides to ask Sabine for help. With the battle going poorly, the rebels are forced to retreat to the bombardment, that's what it's known as. Thrawn responds by sending a ground force to assault the rebel base. Ezra reaches out to Sabine and helps the rebels. Thrawn forces manages to breach the base defences, but before he can capture the rebels, the Bendu intervenes, attacking the Imperial forces during a fight. Callus manages to escape the Imperial imprisonment and ejects into space for an escape pod and is picked up by the Ghost Crew. The rebel fleet escapes back on service. Thrawn manages to decapitate the Bendu, who warns that Thrawn has already foreseen his defeat. Refusing to believe it, Thrawn attempts to kill the Bendu personally, but disappears before the shot could even hit him. The remaining rebel fleet leaves with the rest of the rebellion on Yavin 4, and Hera promises to help Sabine and the Mandalorians on an upcoming mission. Ezra is worried about the massive defeat the rebellion has suffered, but Kanan points out, in fact, it was a small victory they managed to escape. He then tells Ezra that he foresees a future where everybody is free, but they will have to fight to make it happen. So that is the end of season 3.
Hooray!
Hooray! One more to go. I can't wait to get this stream done. I know it seemed a bit negative, but you know what I mean. Favourite episodes from Star Wars Rebels season 3. I did enjoy Twin Suns. double Agent Droid was funny. I say enjoy it just because of AP5's scene. Trials of the Darksaber was good, and the other episodes that was good as well was Ghost of Geonosis and An Inside Man as well. So yeah, that is the end of season 3. Moving on to season 4. Before we move on to season 4, Ellen, are there any comments in the chat?
Nope.
No comments.
No comments.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm looking right at it, man.
Well, it's just you having a conversation there. Okay. Right, we have been streaming for 2 hours, over 2 hours now. If you were to rate season 3 out of 10, what would you rate it, Alan?
6.5.
I've rated it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Okay, I'll follow your lead. 6 out of 10.
All right, season 4 of Star Wars Rebels, the last season. Episodes 1 and 2, Heroes of Mandalore. Sabine, Kanan, and Ezra, led by Clan Wren, in a raid on the Clan Saxon outpost to rescue Sabine's father, who has been held captive by Clan Saxon on behalf of the Empire. The outpost turns out to be a trap to capture Sabine, but they are rescued by Lady Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze. As Bo-Katan should have become ruler of Mandalore after her sister, Duchess Satine, was murdered, Sabine attempts to give her the Darksaber, but Bo-Katan refuses to accept it. Sabine's father is moved to the capital for a public execution. Alrich Wren, who turns out to be as much of an artist as Sabine. Sabine is contacted by her mother just as the Empire reveals a new weapon, the sound of which Sabine recognises. They rush to the site of the attack and find every Mandalorian warrior vaporised. Sabine is devastated as she reveals that she was working on this weapon whilst previously being in the Imperial Academy. Bo-Katan and Ezra and Clan Kryze destroy the pursuing TIE fighters. This action shows a recording of the weapon's field test of the The weapon superheats an ally in Mandalorian armor, killing the occupant but leaving stormtroopers unharmed. At Bo-Katan's camp, her men confront Sabine for her role in the creation of a weapon which named Duchess. After Bo-Katan's sister, Sabine convinces Clan Kryze to join Saxon, who orders her to adjust the weapon to its full power. She does so, but instead of the weapon to target Imperial armor, which stuns the Imperial troopers, Sabine slashes the weapon with the Darksaber, breaching its power core and destroying the Star Destroyer. At the Kryze camp, Sabine gives the Bo-Katan the Darksaber, making her the true leader of Mandalore. Anything to add on that episode there, Alan?
It was cool to get Bo-Katan back, obviously, but yeah, it's unfortunate that we don't see much of her later on.
Yep, that's fine. I have nothing really much to say as well. We're going to move on. Episodes 3 and 4, In the Name of the Rebellion. Ezra, Kanan, and Sabine arrive in Yavin 4 to join the main group of the Rebel Alliance. Hera's squadron also arrives, having barely survived an Imperial ambush, which Bail Organa attributes to an Imperial communication delay on Jaladi. The droid protects a holocron of Saw Gerrera, who mocks Mon Mothma for her unwillingness to go any lengths to defeat the Empire, and Mon Mothma angrily responds, refusing to stop to the violence and extremisms caused by Saw Gerrera's cell. She sends the Ghost crew on a mission to intercept the transmission. Ezra to impersonate an Imperial officer. Unfortunately, it is the very officer who is commanding the cruiser, Bron Titus. Sabine calls Hera to pick them up as they have been seen. Before she can do so, Ewan, piloted by a Saw Gerrera, arrives to pick Ezra and Sabine, then bombs the relay dish, destroying it, and cruiser Hera demands Hera transfer Ezra and Sabine, but jumps into hyperspace. Saw Gerrera convinces Ezra and Sabine to aid him in discovering the secret weapon convinced the Empire is working on. They board the cargo shuttle, and it is a civilian spaceport. And they discover a group of prisoner engineers from the planet Coruscant who are being shipped to Jeddah for an apparent project. Gerrera insists that there is more evidence of a secret weapon. They eventually go into another room and find that there is a giant kyber crystal which they plan to haul out of this with the prisoners. Chopper attempts to get the prisoners out of harm's way via escape pod. Though they are stopped by the Empire, when the plans to get the kyber crystal off the ship fail, Gerrera blasts it so this will explode. He calls two tubes to pick him up, and Ezra and Sabine are rescued by the Ghost crew after destroying a massive Star Destroyer. The engineers decide that they want to join the rebel cause, and they head back to Yavin 4. And I was going to say it in 0 Hour, and in this episode, in the name of the rebellion, we see Death Troopers from Rogue One. I really like this episode because we are slowly emerging into Rogue One.
Yeah.
Which was very, very cool. Obviously, Rogue One was released in 2017, but these episodes are released in 2017. Do you have an opinion on that, Adam? Do you think it was good that Rogue One and Rebels was merging together?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes for continuity and consistency.
Yeah, that's fine. Episode 5, The Occupation.
But the canon is the issue.
The issue.
Anyway.
Yeah. The Occupation, Episode 5. The rebels are informed by Ryder that the Empire is building a new and improved version of a TIE Defender. Fucking another one. They must be running out of ideas. Ezra and the Ghost crew depart to the fold using Vizaga to smuggle them in because the Empire has severely tightened its grip around the planet and nearly crushed the rebel cell. They find that they find that the environment is ruined by the Empire's activities. And where's Empire's activities? Old Joe was arrested and executed for aiding the rebels. He's an older character from season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. Identified and chased, Ezra's crew finds an aspect today from Ezra's old academy friend Jal. Ezra tries to stay optimistic by telling that they can destroy a TIE Defender factory by working together, though Ryder remains sceptical due to having witnessed the capabilities of a new TIE Defender. Episode 6, Flight of the Defender. The Ghost Crew scouts an Imperial airfield where the new TIE Defender is being tested. Grand Admiral Thrawn appears to witness a combat demonstration of the new fighter. Ezra captures the TIE fighter, several unexpected glimpses of a white loaf cat, and it's a very rare thing to see. Eventually, the loaf wolf appears before him, sends Sabine to sleep, and carries them back to the friends, only to disappear as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving Ezra with the strange parting message done to ponder over. So eventually, Ezra and Sabine steal that TIE Defender, eventually crash, and eventually escape by the help of a ghost wolf. Episode 7, Kindred. Ezra, Jiao, and Zeb move to secure the TIE Defender's hyperdrive before the Imperial recovery team can find it. Thrawn has already dispatched an additional helper from the search, Rook, an assassin, and an accurate tracker. While Hera and Chopper evacuate to Yavin with the stolen flight recorder, the rest of the rebels face incoming Imperials to cover the retreat. Where were we? Eventually, the Jedi discover that the Loaf Wolf is a messenger of the Force, here to tell them of a more sinister goal to persuade the Empire in defeating them. So yeah, I'm just going to read these episodes because these are mainly filler ones and they're not spectacular episodes. Do you have anything to add on them episodes, Alan, about the Loaf Wolves and just random creatures we've got popped up in Rebels?
Yeah, no, those creatures are pretty cool, but the episodes themselves are not very interesting.
No, I think they're very flat. They are. I think
Yeah,
season 4 episodes they were very flat, apart from a couple of them.
yeah.
They only picked up around about episode 12, I think. Episode 8, Crawler Commanders. After the Falls Rebels have been taking shelter in an ancient settlement, they discover a mining guild uh, of stripping the false surface of raw materials, passing by and decide to hijack and establish contacts with Hera and the Yavin Rebel base. Working together, the rebels and the former slaves ally an incoming Imperial Patrol investigating the stress school and prevent the captain from destroying the crawler. The assault on the TIE Defender factory is being produced. They've got to go ahead to do that, and after the communication is established, Ezra's team agrees to coordinate the impending assault on the planet's surface. Episode 9, Rebel Assault. Hera and the assault team arrive on the fall, begin the battle to take out the Imperial blockade of ships. With only a few survivors, Hera, Chopper and pilot Martin are all shot down, and they manage to reach the surface and regroup safely. As Hera's group attempts to slip out the city under constant tracking by Rook, Kanan returns to the capital to look for her, only to be stopped by Lothwood and asked what he needs to do. Hera manages to open the escape route, but is captured by Rook before she can use it. Martin and Chopper are then picked up by Kanan and brought to the rebels' hideout, where the Lothwood watches. Episode 10, Jedi Knight. While Hera is being tortured by Governor Price, Ezra, Kanan and Sabine prepare to extract her from their former captivity. With Admiral Thrawn absent and Coruscant, they infiltrate the Arthurian Imperial Commander Center and using gliders they built to look like Lothbats. When Ezra and Sabine secure a gunship as an escaped craft there. Where were we? Kanan recovers Hera's Calipari, an important family artifact. Thrawn in the early series took it. Where were we? As they attempt to escape on one of the gliders, Kanan instructs Hera to land them inside Lothal City Fuel Depot. Just as Ezra and Sabine pick them up, Price orders her troops to open fire on the fuel tanks, causing an explosion. Caught on the top of the tank, Kanan uses the force to control the explosion and push Hera and his friends away from the blast at the cost of his own life. And as Alan's laughing, Kanan got killed by a fucking gas explosion.
Somebody farted and he died, man.
So many fighters died. What was your opinion? Do you think it was acceptable to kill Kanan off? Or do you think it should have been done earlier on?
It was acceptable, but I think it should have been done earlier on. However, nonetheless, I mean the scene itself was pretty good. The episode itself was pretty good, and you know that moment was very impactful, I'd say.
Yeah, especially on Hera as well.
On Hera, on Ezra, but yeah, especially on Hera.
Yeah. That's a good episode. Enjoy it. Episode 11 done. With Doom, D-U-M-E. With the distraction.
Yeah, thank goodness that Price is dead is also, because damn, she was annoying.
And she got killed in the last episode, so yeah. With the destruction of the fuel depot resulting shutdown of the TIE Defender project, Governor Price decides to cover up the blunder by throwing a victory parade. Ezra sinks into despair as he's really upset and can't seem to get over the death of his master, Kanan Jarrus. Where were we? Ezra then informs his friends of their important mission to go into the Jedi Temple and to recover a precious artifact and knowledge in the hands of the Imperials. Episode 12, Rules and the Door. With the aid of the Lothals, Ezra, Hera, Sabine, and Zeb control to head to the Jedi Temple. Where were we? By intercepting and moving into the Imperial command base, they see pictures of the Mortis God, the Father, the Son, and the Daughter. Ezra uses the Force to bring the images to life, which shows the location of the door. However, despite this, he disguises himself as an Imperial scout and finds out what happens, and eventually the alarms are raised. Ezra manages to escape through the door into the temple just before he can be captured. Episode 13, A World Between Worlds. Sabine ends up being captured and questioned by Hayden and asked by him to intercept and tell him what do these images mean in the Jedi Temple. He's learning that the Emperor intends to breach the barriers between life and death as the final stepping stone to controlling the Force within the entire universe. Ezra wanders within a void between space and time until he's led by Convert to another portal, which is opened to the scene of Ahsoka's final battle against Darth Vader. Ezra pulls Ahsoka from the portal and eventually saves her, changing her fate. But with the opening of the full door, the Emperor is finally able to reach into it and attack Ahsoka and Ezra. Ezra and Ahsoka separate and escape through the portals through different sections. With Sabine's hint, Ezra is able to seal the accessway to the void, which also triggers the collapse of the temple. Ezra is finally able to overcome his grief over Kanan's death, realising that he had pulled Kanan out, leaving the others would have perished instead. Episode 14, A Fool's Hope. Before we move on, Anna, what did you think of that episode about Ezra saving Ahsoka and us seeing the Emperor in person?
That was very cool. You know, I hated to hear Kylo Ren and Rey's voices, but other than that, it was a cool episode.
Fair enough. Episode 14 of Fool's Hope. Hera, Rex, and Kallus recruit Hondo, Gregor, Wolf, and Ketsu for a plan to liberate the Fool, which they agree to go out of respect for Ezra. Back in the Fold, Ezra receives a vision of Thrawn returning to Coruscant and plans to seize the capital right away. Price is secretly contacted by Ryder, who offers to betray the rebels in return for his own safety. The Imperials quickly gain the upper hand on the rebels and capture the rebels at their base, but Ryder reveals that his betrayal was merely a diversion to take Price away from the capital. Hera then arrives with the Ghost and reinforcements while Ezra summons the Lothals to aid the battle. The Imperials are swiftly defeated, the Price is captured, but Ezra reminds everyone that the battle to liberate the Fool is just beginning. Now, moving on to the last episode from Star Wars Rebels. Now,
Yes.
Yeah, this has been a long stream for reading because we haven't had much to talk about because there's mainly the episode in Star Wars Rebels. They are mainly filler and not overall exciting. And before I'm going to read this last bit out, I'm just going to quickly check the comments to see.
There's no chat, man.
Anything happening? No, nothing's happening. Right. The season finale and the last episode of Star Wars Rebels Season 4. With Price as their prisoner, the Rebels force to give them a clearance code to infiltrate the Imperial Command Center at the capital. They seize control of the room and plan to issue an evacuation order for all Imperial forces returned to the command center. They then launch this into space. They then launch it to space to self-destruct. Rook overhears the plan and warns Thrawn, who tasks them to disabling the planetary shields. Kallus issues the evacuation order. God, I can't even get the words out. Of all Imperial forces under the command to go to the command center and prepare to launch from the planet. Thrawn arrives and positions his Star Destroyer directly above the city. Once Rick disables the shield generators, Thrawn orders the rebels to surrender or he will bomb the city. Ezra decides to surrender to stall Thrawn while the rest of rebels move in to reactivate the shield. Thrawn puts Ezra in contact with the holocron of the Emperor. Meanwhile, Mark realizes the plan is in trouble and takes the Ghost to enact a backup plan Ezra has given him by sending a signal over frequency zero to summon help. As the rebels fight their way to the shield generator, the Emperor tries to tempt Ezra with a promise to revive his parents. Ezra refuses the Emperor to deal with this and escapes custody, while the rebels are able to raise the shields before Thrawn can commence bombardment of the city. Zeb is able to trap Ruck inside the generator as it activates, killing him. To be fair, when they say killing him, that is wrong, because if you look at the canon beforehand, Rook is the actual creature responsible for killing Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know if you knew that, Alan. Did you know that?
No.
No, his bodyguard, Rook, he was responsible for killing Grand Admiral Thrawn eventually. Gregor is mortally wounded in the fight and eventually dies. Ezra fights his way to Thrawn and reveals that he's arranged marks to call the Purrgil who arrive and destroy Thrawn's fleet. The Purrgil then grab Thrawn's flagship and prepare to drag it into hyperspace. Despite pleas from his friends, Ezra decides to stay on the ship to make sure Thrawn is defeated for good, and they jump away. With Thrawn's fleet gone, the rebels receive the plan to launch and destroy the command center. Christ chooses to stay and go down with it rather than remain a prisoner of the rebels. Upon witnessing the destruction of the command center, the people of the Force celebrate, and Hera is confident that they will be able to resist the Imperial attempts to recapture the planet. Thanks to the Rebel Alliance, victory at the Battle of Endor, which both Hera and Rex took part in, the feared Imperial counterattack on the fold never comes, and the Ghost crew go their separate ways. Zeb takes Callus to Lyra's son to show him that he didn't truly exterminate all of the Sot species, and that he welcomed there as one of their own. Hera and Rex continue to fight with the Rebel Alliance, and it's revealed Hera gave birth to her and Kanan's son, Jason Syndulla. Sabine teams up with Ahsoka Tano to search for Ezra, leaving behind a memorial on the fold showing a picture of the Ghost Crew, with Ezra, Sabine, Chopper, and the rest of the gang there. And eventually we see Sabine and Ahsoka Tano leave the fold and go and search for Ezra Bridger.
Worst ending ever.
So yeah, that was the season finale, and that has been it for the Star Wars Rebels live stream. I know we haven't been a little bit optimistic in the other seasons, but we don't really have much to say, really. Even though I did enjoy the episode, I haven't really much to say. Alan, your thoughts on the season finale of season 4? Because I know you were very happy.
It should have been a dark and tragic ending, with everyone dying, except for Ahsoka maybe, because she's cool, but still. Come on.
Come on, lay it out. Lay it out. What else do you need to say?
I mean, he could have killed them. Damn it! Why? I mean,
Worst ending later.
Just because it's a kid show, it doesn't mean that it has to end on a rather bright note. Because I mean, damn it. Damn it!
Keep moaning, I love it.
I hate that Ezra survived.
I know you do.
And even though I like Ahsoka, I hate that she survived too, damn it.
You hated that everyone survived.
Because first of all, I hate Ezra. That goes without saying. But there's nothing to do with the fact that he doesn't appear in any other movie that follows the series. So why leave his fate open like that? That's so stupid, okay? It's so stupid because he's not because now it makes everything that was said about Luke a lie, okay? Luke is not the last Jedi. Well, Ezra is not really a Jedi, but he is a Jedi because he's a Force user that fights for the light side. He's got a lightsaber, and well, he was an apprentice to a freaking Jedi. So technically, he kind of is a Jedi. On the field, he is a Jedi. So Luke is not the last Jedi. So why are you messing with my canon? Damn it! Why? Why? God fucking damn it! Why didn't you kill Ezra Bridger? Why? Why?
Keep it going. Keep it going. We want to end this stream on a high. What
And
else do you
whose
have to
kid
say?
is that? Whose kid is that in the end? Who's the
Sabine,
father? Who's the father?
Kanan's the father.
What? When did they have time to make him? Damn it! Series does not include that sex scene.
They had time in the Imperial prison, didn't they? Dirty.
Bullshit!
Dirty bastards. The
Bullshit!
Imperial command base. Yes,
Bullshit!
it says here, Hera, Hera gave birth to her and Kanan's son, Jason Sindula. When the fuck did they have time to
piss
shag?
off.
When did they have the time to shag? That's the real question we want to know.
When did they have time to shag?
We need David Attenborough here. You see Kanan Jarrus and Hera Syndulla shagging the fucking hell out of each other.
Oh my god!
Keep it going.
Wow.
What else you have to know? Mention about the kid again. When did they have time to create that thing?
And the worst part is, it's not even an abomination. It's a human being with green hair. What are they trying to do? Bring the Joker to the to the Star Wars universe?
They do a close up. You don't know why my mother and father created me. Keep it going. Keep it going. I want to end the stream on a high. What else do you have to moan about? Please, I want to end the stream on a high. What else do you have to moan about?
Oh my god. Oh,
what else do you have to moan about? Please, Alan, please tell us.
I don't know anymore, man. I'm tired of this show.
Why did they create this thing?
Why? No, why did they end it like this? Damn it! So inconsistent.
What would you have done? Just done a shot of the thing coming down and killing them? Yeah.
Bring in a freaking super star destroyer, shoot them all down, kill them all. Bye bye. New Hope. Thank you. Do it Rogue One style.
Yeah. I think that's what they should have done. When did they have the time to make that kid? That is the big question. When the hell?
That is a big question.
And he has fucking green hair. Is he the Joker? You want to know how my father died? He died when someone farted on him. Fucking gas exploded, for fuck's sake. And Ezra's just a moaning little bastard. You don't. Oh. Please say what you feel about Ezra.
She survived. She made it to the Battle of Endor. What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently Rex and Hera fought at the Battle of Endor.
I mean, sure, Rex okay, but Hera? Why? Okay, I get it.
She was in childbirth while flying the coast.
I mean, I get it. They didn't create that character yet, but I mean, come on.
What is the point of creating that fucking character? We only saw him for like a second. What's going to be the future of Star Wars? Yeah, Jason Soda, the boy who got fucked. We don't know his backstory.
You see, what they did with Kanan, they got that right. They needed to copy and paste that for every other character in the show.
You've got some explaining to do.
And you know what? I don't even care if Thrawn is alive. Okay, as long as those other characters are dead, I don't care if he's alive. Okay, he can. I don't know. Okay.
What else do you have to say, please? I want to keep ending this on a high. What else do you have to say about Rebels? What is your overall ranking on Star Wars Rebels season 4 and it in general? What is your ranking?
I don't know, man. I'm just glad it's over. I will rate the final season. Yeah, 6 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would rate Star Wars Rebels. I would rank Star Wars Rebels as a 6 out of 10. I felt the characters should have been killed off.
Yes.
They shouldn't have survived. They should have been killed off.
Yes.
Some of the episode arcs were quite dull and boring. We haven't seen many Star Wars Rebels figures being made, so maybe that's the reason why.
Yes.
I think Star Wars Rebels should have only been a couple of seasons. Maybe they should have only made 2 seasons of Star Wars Rebels. There's episodes there that could have been avoided and don't even need to be in Star Wars.
The whole series could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Or, delayed till after the Clone Wars was officially finished.
Yeah. But overall, Star Wars Rebels gets by. I can watch some of it, but in a way, I did enjoy it, but there is disappointment in Star Wars Rebels for me. What is your opinion on it, Alan?
Probably same as yours.
You love Ezra.
Of course, man.
No, tell the viewers how much you hate him. Get it off your chest like you did with the Last Jedi. Go on, tell him.
I don't. It's not something that I can express with words, man.
Just say it short. I fucking.
Fuck you, Ezra Bridge.
Okay, yeah, we've ended on a high there. So yeah, that has been it for the Star Wars Rebels season 1 to season 4 live stream.
I'll be damned if he appears in anything again.
What would you do if he does appear? You're going to ring him up? What the fuck are you doing, Lucasfilm?
Nah, I'm at least gonna give them props for being consistent, but I will forgive them if they forget to bring him back at some point. I'll forgive them.
So yeah, that has been it for Star Wars Rebels live stream. It hasn't been a mainly optimistic. Well, it has been optimistic, but in detail and stuff. But
I can already imagine. So when is Ezra coming back? What did you see the new Kenobi movie?
No.
Yeah,
No.
What?
No. So yeah, we haven't been talking in detail as
we have a new character. We have a new character. Who's Ezra Bridger? We have a new character that's the son of Ezra. No, the son of what? We have the son of freaking Hera and Kanan. Who's Ezra?
Wait a minute. Is that the Joker?
Is that Joker? we brought the Joker to the Star Wars universe, man. What are you talking about?
You see him at the end like that. Yay! Fuck off.
Now give us your money. Okay. Now you can end the stream, man. I'm done.
He pulls him to one side. When the hell did them two shag? Where's your daddy? Oh, he died because someone farted on him. Oh, Rebels, why? So yeah, that is like I said, we haven't been talking as much, and this has kind of been like a comedy live streaming away in it with some of the shit that we've come out with. I hope you've
Dude, I'm sorry that you felt the need to make the stream.
I know. I've kind of making second thoughts now. I don't even know how long this fucking stream is.
I think we started at like my 3:20, something like that.
Yeah, I think we've been streaming for about nearly 2 hours. But yeah, we're
my 3:25. now it's 6:30.
5:30 in the UK.
Yeah, so we've been at it for like
at least 2 hours.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Wow. So we've given our final thoughts on Star Wars Rebels. Wow, this live stream. Wow, it's been more of a comedy sketch, really. I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. Before we end, is there anything you'd like to add on your upcoming projects, Alan, or the progress of your channel?
Last Laugh is still in the works. A lot of work to get done. The set is on my table. I'm not gonna. I mean, sure, I can show you my messy desk. There it is. Ooh, yeah. All right. So yeah, it's in the works. Trying to get it done before 2020. Other than that, you for those of you who miss me, you can, you can interact with me on Jack's streams whenever he does the Star Wars conversations, because I'm not very active elsewhere. Be secretive and about my project, and I also try not to waste time. Because, and also I'm very busy with school and theater and production and all that kind of stuff. So I don't find much time to do streams on my own channel. And it would be a waste of time to even try, because I don't know, like I don't know what to bring to the table. I don't know who would watch it, how many people would watch it. So the streams will not come back for the time being, for a good while. But yeah, you guys want to interact with me, you feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Darth Akoko 1999. I still have that username. There's the community tab on YouTube on my channel. You can interact with me on there, obviously, and yeah. I post all kinds of. I just posted last week a preview to some preview pictures for The Last Laugh, if you guys are interested. So be sure to check it out if you want. So yeah. Again, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to tune in for whenever The Last Laugh comes out, and follow me on social media, and subscribe to Jack as well, because you'll see more of me here than on my own channel.
No, it's been a pleasure always.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jack. It was awesome.
It's been more of a comedy. This one, why the fuck did I do this stream?
I'll be honest with you. This stream, I wasn't. I wasn't as passionate about this stream, because I
was the same, but I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah, I understand. I personally thought I'd have more to say.
Same here,
but no. Just no. But yeah, thank you again for having me. It's always fun to do these streams, and rediscover our passion for Star Wars and movies in general. I like that. So thank you again. And sorry for the trouble for delaying it. And this stream was supposed to happen like a month ago.
Don't worry about it. I'm just glad it's over now, because I don't.
Yeah, me too.
I probably won't do another Star Wars Rebels thing ever again.
Thank you.
live streaming here. No disrespect to
Yeah, no.
Lucasfilm and all that lot, but we just wanted to get it over with.
I think people will
Clone
thank you
Wars
for
for
that.
life. Clone Wars for life. Once
Clone
that
for
comes
life,
out, we're going to
Yeah.
come back with a bang. Yeah, thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. I hope you have enjoyed the stream because it has been a bit of a laugh in a way, isn't it? Well, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
We've got through Star Wars Rebels. I've done what I wanted to do with my Star Wars conversations. When Star Wars The Clone Wars comes out and we've watched it in detail, I will be doing a live stream on that. And eventually when Episode 9 comes out, we'll be doing a live stream on that. But for the time being, there won't be any live streams for a while, but depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm going to do a live stream on some certain things, stay tuned for that. A massive thank you to Alan for obviously being a part of the channel and enjoying the streams and everything. Also, be sure to subscribe to his channel, we just mentioned, where you can follow him on social media. You can subscribe to my channel, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as well. And I hope you have enjoyed this Star Wars live stream. So I'd just like to say thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. Enjoy, and
may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, and we'll eventually see you on the next one, whenever that is. So take care, look after yourself, and may the Force be with you. Thanks, guys.